Drum, 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 drum.
Hey, listen.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Zack Attack and Candy Sparks.
Woo!
K to Z movies.
Hey, yeah.
Two people that can't sing that like to sing a lot.
This is
How are
true.
you doing, Kenny?
I'm doing really well, man. I was thinking earlier today, like this today is the best I've felt as a human being in a long time. So I'm having a really good day.
Yeah, man. And I've been a part of that journey of you feeling kind of sluggish. So I'm happy that you're
Hmm.
having a really good day. You're feeling more like yourself.
Yep.
And it feels like we haven't live streamed in 30 years.
Yo, it really
Um,
does.
how's the wife? How's the kids? How's the cats? Dogs?
Wife is great. She just got home, so the dog is barking. Um, Wife is great. Dog is healthy, which I'm happy about. I had to take him to the vet for a couple times over the past
Yeah.
week. Not a week, over the past month or two. The cat is just doing what the cat does. She's chilling. She might show up later because she just likes to crawl across my desk whenever I'm doing something important. So, yeah, man, things are quite well. How are things with you on your in your neck of the woods?
Wow, man. Drama at work, but
Hmm.
nothing new there.
Let me
Uh,
close this door. I'll be right back.
and yeah, and I'm just chilling, man. I'm chilling. I did a channel update a couple months ago talking about things with the channel, and things are progressing with my health. Things are progressing well at work, even despite the drama. And my schedule should be doing really, really well in terms of changing and being stable in the middle of
Mhm.
November. And then I'll be able to like get into a flow of doing like what I want to do for the channel.
Yeah.
And I'll make a video about that as well. I think I'm gonna do more channel updates and stuff like that so people know what's going on and I'm not just making changes and they're like, what is happening?
Yeah, that makes sense. I actually thought about because my wife's laptop is ringing. Uh, sorry, be right back.
Let me see what the chat's saying. Collect the movie man, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. He said, hey Zach and Kenny Sparks, how are you doing? He said, Zach, have you watched House of Dragon yet or the Penguin TV show? I have watched Penguin. I'm all caught up. I'm excited for tonight's episode. I have not watched House of Dragon just yet.
Same. I'm literally the same. I'm all caught up with Penguin, and I have not watched the last two episodes of House of the Dragon. It's just not going to happen.
I
Any-
actually am. I have 15 minutes left on Fallout. I'm finally about to finish that show.
oh, really?
Yes. These last 2.5 episodes is really like, okay, I'm kind of locked in now. I don't know what it was for the first couple episodes that just I just was not locked in, but now that things are being revealed and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what the problem is? I feel like I knew what all the reveals were, and I was like,
Mhm.
the show's just taking really long
To
to
get to
get
it?
where I already know.
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't get to enjoy the journey as much as I would like to, but overall, it's still a solid show.
Yeah, I watched like 3 or 4 episodes and just stopped watching. I don't think it's a bad show. I just lost interest, I guess,
Yeah,
somewhere along the way. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Eventually, I'll have to get back to it.
yeah. But Penguin, man, gripped me from the beginning. Um,
Penguin is great.
I wasn't anticipating the show at all. I thought the trailers were kind of weak.
Hmm.
And it took me a little while to go watch it, but I saw everybody so excited and I binged to catch up and I was like, "Oh my god, this is great. What was I doing?"
Yeah,
Um, and Agatha surprisingly
Agatha is
is
phenomenal.
really good.
It's really good. I'm really
It's
enjoying Agatha.
that last episode, like it's been a while since I've teared up watching a TV show, and it almost got
Mhm.
me. I felt it in the
Yep.
back of my eye. The waters was coming, and I was like, "Whoa!" For
Yeah. The waters of Lake Minnetonka was about to flow.
Yeah, man. Award-worthy performance by the I forgot what her name is, Lilia? The name of the character? I'm not sure the name of the no, the name of the character, I'm not sure the name of the actress, but That the way it was written, the way it was sequenced, the acting, everything was so on
Hmm.
point for that last episode.
Oh man, the non-linear storytelling was so good,
It was
so
so
good.
and it was set up so well throughout the series because they were doing such random things with her. I'm like, what the hell are they doing with this character? And it end up it was so good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. So a lot of good comic book television.
Oh, and Superman and Lois, I think I'm an episode behind, but that shit's
I need to
this
catch up
is
with
the
that entire
meanest
series.
Lex Luthor I've ever been witness of. He's mean, nasty, and scary.
I got to get
Like
into
he
that.
doesn't look like Lex, but he's acting like him. But he's acting like a Lex that went to jail. That's the best way I could. A Lex that went to jail came out,
Hmm.
and on top of that, falsely accused. He didn't do the crime that he went to jail for.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
That's an interesting take.
yeah. So and Lois is the one that put him in jail. So like
Oh,
this,
wow! What?
yeah, yeah. They cooking, boy. They cooking.
That's crazy. I love
That's
it.
crazy.
I gotta catch up.
Yeah. Eptastic Joshua,
Yo,
what's up, man?
what's up,
Feel like
Epic?
I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, man.
Oh, also want to appreciate you always liking all my stuff on Instagram and threads and
Same.
sharing. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Big ups.
Also, thank you for putting me on for his three daughters. Like I wasn't gonna watch that movie, but his review and how much he talked about it made me watch it, and it's on this list. I'm gonna talk about it. Something that we should be on the lookout for, like Oscar season. Like it
Oh,
was
really?
really, really good, and I think you'll
Where
like it
is it?
because
Is it? Is it?
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's a story about humans. You know how we like that,
Hmm.
and it's very relatable for us who are in our 30s and our parents are aging and all that. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Um, that's a long last name. Let's see if I can do it. Anthony Chobot does pop culture and opening. How are you doing? By the way, I'm up to 2006 in my memoirs. Wow. Wait, is that 2006 in terms of movies you see? I hope that's not movies you see because that's insane. Or do you mean like you're writing memoirs for each year and you're up to 2006? Let me explain to me what you mean by that. The Matt Film Show. He said,
What's
"Hey,
up,
what's
Matt?
up, Zach and Kenny? It feels like a while since you did a stream. Hope all is well. What do you think of Agatha? We did talk about Agatha
Yep.
already. Great show. It started off slow, but those last three
Oh,
episodes.
shit. This week is the finale.
Wasn't this episode 7? I thought it was 9 episodes.
Yeah, but they're doing a 2 episode finale
Ooh, okay.
right in
I'm
time for
down.
Halloween.
Yeah, oh, that's smart. That's perfect.
Hmm.
I hope you're doing well, Matt Film Show. It's been a while since I've gotten to talk to you as well. CC
CC Clemens.
Miss Clemens. She just dropped a reaction to Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. I have not gotten to check it out, but knowing her facial reactions and the comments she'd make, quite hilarious. I already know it's hilarious. Go check it out.
100%.
Zach and Katie Sprooks, are you looking forward to the Dune TV show that's going to be starting a few weeks after Penguin? Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
100%. I'm definitely
I'm a
looking forward
huge
to it.
fan of the Dune universe, so I'm down.
And also, HBO just seems to be cooking.
Yeah, as always, they always low key cook.
Yep.
Hey, through the lens, what's up, man? How are you doing?
How's
How's
life?
everything with your family and everything? I know you've seen some updates with things going on with your family. Hope everything is good.
Hmm.
See, my dad's trying to convince me to watch Penguin show now so bad. I'm gonna wait for the binge. I think we have one more episode of Penguin.
I honestly don't know. After this week?
Yeah, I think this is the second to last episode.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
It feels like the show's getting ready to wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay, the year. Okay. Hurt minded.
Yeah, what's up,
You're
Bert? You're
yeah, 2 more episodes of Penguin. All
nice.
right. This is what we're here for. We're here to rank all the movies that we saw in October, old and new. And
Hmm.
this year has been very, very interesting in terms of releases. I feel like it started off really slow. Now it's so packed that there's movies
Cooking.
I'm missing. I
Yeah.
still haven't seen We Live in a Time with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, and I've been anticipating that movie for a long time.
I haven't seen it
I
either.
haven't seen Kneecap yet, and I heard that movie is great. I haven't seen Anora, and that I'm gonna go see it tomorrow,
I'm gonna try to
after
see it
work.
tomorrow as well, if it's playing in the
Um,
city.
yeah, it's playing at like 3:10, and I get off work at 3, so I'm gonna try to leave my job at like 2:45, and hopefully I get there.
Mm,
I'm counting for trailers and stuff like that. It's like 20 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of movies that I have not seen, Robot Dreams and things like that. But we saw a lot of good,
Hmm.
great, and weird movies this month. So before I want to talk to these last two people. He said, "What's good, Zach? I'm watching Mr. Crockett. That's another movie I wanted to
Oh,
watch.
I
Mr.
wanted to see
Crockett.
that. I want to see it before Halloween, or maybe I'll watch it on
Yeah,
Halloween.
yeah, maybe. Honora ain't playing nowhere by me. Yeah, that's another thing that's the problem. It's very, very limited. It officially comes out wide release this coming Friday. I think
Yeah,
that's why. Um, so that's why. So hopefully look for some showings this week. It's been slowly releasing before that. But let's get into the first film, and that is a film that me and Kenny actually watched. What was this, yesterday? Technically
together.
this morning.
Oh, by the way, our IMAX ranking is cut off.
It is.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh you can see it
Oh,
now?
yep. See you now.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna read the synopsis for this. This is gonna be our rank in the house from 1977. We actually watched this movie because Kenny is gonna be doing a review for this film soon for
Oh
his
yeah.
unseen movie marathon.
Yep.
Little plug for Kenny Sparks' channel. Um,
Mhm.
and the synopsis for this one is: in an effort to avoid spending time with her father and his creepy new lover, she was actually that creepy, but uh young gorgeous, yes, her name is gorgeous, resolves to visit her aunt's remote mansion with six of her closest friends in tow, including the musically inclined Melody, yes, and the geeky professor, yep, that's her name. Gorgeous arrives at the state where the supernatural events occur almost immediately. I think it's an immediate, but okay. A severed head takes flight, household appliances come to life, and a portrait of a cat seems to contain a evil spirit.
Yeah.
Um, Mr. Sparks,
Yes.
this is a movie that you subjugated me to at 2 o'clock in the morning.
We
So
definitely watched this at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we finished at like 3.
Hmm.
Um, but it was really fun.
It was.
Um, but talk about it though.
This movie, I said it's in my letterbox review. If the object of this film is to get you to say "what the f" as many times as possible, it succeeded in every single way. And I gotta tell you, like some of the things that really stood out to me was the editing and just some of the choices, like not the editing in terms of like the sequence of the story, but the editing in terms of like transitions and animation, and sometimes it's a cartoon and sometimes it's not, and some people have are wearing clothes where the wind is blowing at all times while other people don't seem to be affected by it, and there's plenty of situations that are horrifying situations. Like one girl is bit in the ass by by a beheaded woman, and they never address it again. So it's like, yo, I like, it's a lot, yo. Like it is a lot, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun, but also, yeah, it's one thing we kept saying, and they were like, "Is this an illusion?" And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talk? You just fought a flying head that was on fire. Like,
Right.
what are you
You made
what are you
contact.
talking about right now? You made contact, yeah,
Right.
and the remains is on the floor, so it's not like it disappeared where you're like, oh, maybe that was a dream."
Yeah. And oh yeah, I forgot my favorite character in the movie. Her name is Kung Fu because she does
Mhm.
kung fu.
Yeah,
Just like Mac is named Mac because she likes to eat a lot. Melody plays music, like just the same thing the synopsis said. This movie
sweet
is
because she was sweet and nice.
sweet because she was a very sweet girl, a very nice young lady. Like it was like, oh, fantasy because she kept fantasizing about that grown ass man who was a teacher at her school, who the professor kept saying, "Wait till he gets here and you'll get to spend some romantic time with him." young lady, that is a grown man, and this is your student.
Grown. That man had a
What
mullet. He was grown.
a mullet. Yeah. So yeah, like there's so many crazy things that happen in this movie. Bear is at the bar drinking, but like it's a lot. But I had such a good time watching it.
That we lost it at that part because it was
Yeah.
that's one of the weird transitions. So they're getting haunted and terrified, and things are happening, and they set it up in a way where there's like eyeballs and lips like popping out of the closet talking to them, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden a head of a random person we've never seen before pops out, but then it transitions to him cooking, and I'm like, wait, what's happening? And it was just showing that the professor, who's supposed to be saving these kids and maybe have an inappropriate relationship with one of them, is just eating and chilling. And in the
Hmm.
corner, there was a bear that was dressed in like the outfit that it and never explained.
Never explained. They never go back to it either. Yeah. So yeah,
It-
House was House was a lot of fun.
it's one of those movies where like anyone's opinion is correct. So like if you
Yes.
hate it,
Yes.
you're absolutely correct, and I can't be mad at you.
Hmm.
If you think it's mid, I hey, if you think it's the greatest movie of all time, I don't blame you either.
Hmm.
Um, but all I can say, I'm still processing how I feel about it. I already
Yeah.
have the movie in my Amazon cart because it's like one of those things I feel like I need to own.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that movie's wild. If you wanna see a wild movie, if you wanna see something that, like, is creepy but not scary, well, I don't think I was ever scared,
No,
but it is creepy, I think it's a good Halloween movie.
I do too. You just gotta like be patient and make it through like the first 20 or so, 20, 30 minutes of the
Oh,
film.
yeah.
Because you might think that you're watching something like a completely, totally different film, but you are watching the correct film, and it is absolutely insane. House is actually on Max, so you guys can actually watch it there.
Yeah. Guys, have you seen House? Let us know and tell us where you personally rank it. We're gonna rank it right now because I feel like we're both very confident. For me, it's full price.
Full price for sure. This
I
movie's
wouldn't put it in
insane.
a IMAX because I don't think it has cinematic qualities for that.
Hmm.
Um I think because it does seem like it's a low budget kind of film,
Yeah,
um, but maybe on purpose. I don't think they wanted it to be the cleanest thing ever.
yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Nora's nowhere near him. If I got time tonight, I'll watch Devil all the time. But I hope you're very well, man. It's been a minute. I mean, yeah, been a minute for a while
Yeah,
since I've got to talk to all you guys. And this won't be my only live stream. I've decided that every 100 subscribers I gain, I'll do like a community Q&A. So that will be coming soon. It
makes
might
sense.
be this week or next week. I
Yeah.
just got to 1,100 subscribers, so I'm definitely
Whoop,
going to be
whoop.
doing that. I'm so excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You're almost at 19. Um,
I am.
yeah,
Whoa.
almost 2 videos.
Hmm.
I know that Beetlejuice 2 came out technically in September, but I got to see it October and I love it. Yeah, we did talk about Beetlejuice
Yeah.
last month. And I had a good time with it. It was really, really fun.
Same. I had a good time with it. It has some issues, but it's none of the issues take away from my enjoyment of the film.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is an old school film. We're gonna be doing some the old school films first, and then we're gonna get into the new stuff.
Yeah.
Tropical in the Hood. Hi, Kenny. It's me, TT.
TT is my wife's best friend. They hang out all the
Aw.
time. They be taking the car and just be gallivanting through the city streets, gardening together and all that. Yo, they are like two peas in a pod. They are so much fun. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm happy to see you, TT. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. Oh, and me, you, Idris, and Macau, my wife, have to all hang out together again. But yeah,
Yep.
happy to see you, or happy to have you here.
Work. CC, it is wild.
CC, I think that you would like. I don't even know. I think your mind would melt watching this film.
You
Um,
should do a reaction to House.
that would be great. You
Yeah,
should definitely do a reaction to House.
I think that would be amazing.
It's only an hour and a half.
Ooh,
That's the other thing.
yeah, it's not even that long. Um, Prodigious Spider Star said, "First time I'm hearing of 1977. You should definitely check it out. I know there is a 1985 film which we saw the trailer and that looks wild.
Yeah, it actually looked pretty good.
It actually looked pretty good.
I think it's like an
I
American
don't think it's
remake,
yeah,
but
very
it's
very
really
Americanized.
nothing to do with the other movie. So I'm not even sure how much of
Yeah,
a remake it is.
Yeah. I watched House last year and had absolutely no clue what was going on the entire time, but I dug in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
is
makes
the feeling.
sense. I want to see Joker 2, Venom: Last Dance from this month. Smile 2, maybe. I don't know if I will. I check out Smile 2, especially if you like Smile 1.
Yeah. Smile 2 is really good. I actually like it a lot more than the first one.
Me too. It sounds really stupid, actually. I could definitely see people thinking
Mhm.
how stupid.
Yeah.
He said he would skip. He said, "Awesome," and Cece's gonna be adding it to her list.
Yeah, let's go. We've done our
Exciting.
job.
We've done our job. Next film up is one of that only Kenny have seen, and this is the classic from 1988, Armageddon. When an asteroid threatens to collide with Earth, NASA honcho Dan Truman determines the only way to stop it is to drill into the surface and detonate a nuclear bomb. This sounds like a terrible idea. This leads him to a renowned driller, Henry Stamper, who agrees to helm the dangerous space mission provided he can bring along his own hotshot crew. Among them is Cocksure? Okay. AJ, who Hanks thinks isn't very good for his daughter until the mission proves otherwise. And this was directed by Michael Bay. Talk about why you want to go rewatch this and why you love this.
I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, babe. And I don't want to miss a thing. Yo, this movie is amazing. Is Michael Bay at his best? It's in the 90s. It's two, just like the synopsis said, it's a crew of oil drillers who were sent to an asteroid in a space shuttle to drill for 800 feet up until so that they can put the nuclear warhead into the center of the asteroid and hopefully save Earth. This movie is absolutely phenomenal, and one of the best parts about it is that it goes through so many different yeah, one of the best parts about it is that it goes through so many different sequences before they even get to the moon project that get you endeared to the characters, right? And then when they take off, they have to deal with a whole nother spaceship issue before they get to the asteroid. So it's so much damn fun. But yeah, one of the best the disaster movies or weather movies or weather disaster movies of the 90s. And yeah, it's a top tier movie. I love it. It's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
I haven't watched it in many years.
Hmm.
But I remember watching it multiple times on TV because I was very, very young. I was 8 years old. I wasn't going to the theater yet.
Hmm.
And loving it. I remember just being mind blown. Anytime it was a movie where someone was going to space, my mind was blown. I was like, how did they even pull this off?
Right.
Uh, and Bruce Willis I was a big fan of him. Because of Die Hard and other different things that he's done. And I think that might have been my first exposure to like Ben Affleck.
Yep. Yep. He was
So
really
like,
young
yeah,
in this.
he's really, really good in the movie. So this is an
Yeah.
incredible movie. I definitely do need to watch it again. I'm pretty sure I know where you're putting it.
Yo,
Um,
if
IMAX,
I could
right?
see this in IMAX, because the effects hold up. They really
Mm.
do. So yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah, I was reading what's his name? Sully's next comment. He's hilarious. He said, "Bro, look at that tier list. You guys saw so many October movies. Your boy is lagging behind."
Which is really funny because I felt like I haven't seen a lot of movies in October.
Yeah. Oh, Noah Kaiser gifted a membership. I appreciate you, man.
That's
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
That is awesome.
And I gifted 5 memberships, so that's 6 new members. Appreciate all y'all.
That's what's up, yo. Good stuff.
Select the movie said, "Your next movie I love is one of the favorite Bruce Willis movies."
Yeah, I
Nice.
think it might be my favorite Bruce Willis movie. I think it is, and I think right
Yeah.
after that, because I'm debating between Die Hard with a Vengeance and this, and I think it's this.
Yes. Armageddon needs a 4K release desperately, but Disney owns the right, so we probably will never get a 4K. That's very unfortunate.
You know what's interesting about that? I watched this on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it should be on Hulu. Anyway, I don't like the fact that Disney Plus is mixing in like stuff that should be on Hulu or feels like Hulu.
It's
It,
weird.
it feels weird now.
When I go on there and I see like a horror movie, I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
and this doesn't feel it just doesn't feel right.
Hmm.
Collective Movie Man got a membership. Nice.
Hey,
Adam, you got
congratulations.
one. What's up, Ace?
Ace, what's up, man? Hope you're doing okay. Don't give up.
Yeah, man. Word. Congrats on that big video you had. I think it was like he has like a crazy amount of views on his live stream, right?
Yeah, yo,
74K or something like that.
he is killing it.
He's killing it.
He is killing it.
I feel like I've seen at least 20 or more just in this month. Well, part minded, as I've been saying for years, because I think I've known you for a year now. You're the hardest working man on YouTube.
Hmm.
You review movies that I've never heard of, and I review movies that people have never heard of. So I'm not shocked. And I gotta say, because I love giving everybody props in the community. I think that your delivery and your reviews have gotten better recently. I like watched like your last 5 videos, and I was like, okay, purpose improved, and I love it. And I love your
Hmm.
thumbnails too.
Yo, personal thumbnails are awesome.
Yeah, I love the unique style because you know it's him
Yep.
immediately.
Yep.
I will one day watch Armageddon. You definitely should.
Have fun, man.
Noah got a membership. Nice. Kenny, Zach, what's up, fellas?
What
Hey,
up,
Zach.
Zach Mill? How art thou?
Nice. Zach, I might be putting a new video this week. It's going to be showing off my pickups for the month of October. I'm just trying to get to 100 subscriber. I'm at 96. You're almost there, man.
That's
Keep
what's up.
trucking away. Got to put in that work, just like Noah said. The next film coming up is a film that only Kenny saw as well, because he'd be watching these old school movies, and I'd be watching all new stuff.
Hmm.
And that's Sugar Hill. Talk about Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill. Let me find the synopsis,
Oh,
but
let me pull this. No, my bad. I
it's all
got it.
good. It's all good.
Sugar Hill. There's multiple Sugar Hills.
There are more.
1974.
Yeah,
Uh,
1974.
when nightclub owner Langston refuses to sell out to local mob boss Morgan, he is beaten to death by a gang of hired thugs. Goddamn. His grief-stricken fiancee Diana Sugar Hill vows revenge for his murder and turns to aged voodoo authority Mama Matrice, maybe. Together they conjure up demonic spirit of Baron Samedi, who agrees to help Sugar. He raises an army of zombies and sets them upon Langston's killers. This sounds insane.
It is. And I'll be quick with it because I know we got some other movies to get to. Essentially, the movie is, as you said, it is insane. But I loved it. It's very much it's a black exploitation movie to the T. It has everything from white protect or white antagonists in the mob trying to take over a black establishment and killing him, killing the owner in the process. And yeah, like Sugar, who is the main character, essentially raises, with the help of a voodoo priestess, raises up an army of zombies and systematically kills every single one of the mobsters. It is absolutely crazy. I think it takes place in like uh, either Louisiana or Houston, one of the two. But yeah, it's really real. It was really interesting. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Nice. Did we rank the last movie? Yeah,
Yeah, we put it in
we did.
IMAX.
Where are you putting Sugar Hill?
Streaming for sure.
Streaming? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's
It's just not like I might even give it a matinee.
theater.
Yeah.
You have a matinee?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool.
You would have watched it back in the day in the theaters, just on discount.
No, you can leave it at streaming. Now that you say it, you can leave it at streaming.
Yep. All right. Next one up is also another Kenny solo one. This is a movie I really wanted to go out and see, but I didn't get a chance to. And that's Saturday Night. Tensions run high as producer Lorne Michaels and a ferocious troupe of young comedians and writers prepare for the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live on October 11th, 1975. Talk about Saturday Night, which is on your letterbox at 91.
So I'm in the minority on this. I know the movie has like a 90 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes. I was thoroughly bored throughout the entirety of this film, which is a huge problem for a movie that's about the start of Saturday Night Live. The movie is about the makings of a comedy show, and it's not funny at all. It's just so I was so bored throughout the majority of it. Like good performances throughout. Like Jay Farrell's in there. Like it does kind of tell the history of the first night. And if they made it more interesting, more engaging, it's just I would have been more into it. But I guess it's just not my brand of comedy. I did not enjoy it at all.
Okay. The brand of comedy wasn't for you.
Nah.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's rank this bad boy. Where would you put it?
I put it like streaming.
Behind Sugar Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
All right.
guys who have been following me long enough know that you can be good or you can be bad, but the one thing that you can't be is boring.
It's boring.
Like I cannot stand a boring movie.
Yeah. I've seen very little this month. Venom was terrible though.
There was.
Thank God for Deadpool. Otherwise, this comic book movie year would be unsalvageable.
That is
Yeah.
so true. That is so true.
I
Because
guess
even in the
Transformers
animated
technically is a
movies,
comic book,
well,
but oof.
uh, yeah, even in the animated ranks, like what was it? The Justice
Justice
League
League.
Crisis on Infinite Earths part 1 through 3. I watched the first two parts. It was awful. So yeah,
I heard the Watchmen animated movies they just dropped too weren't that great. So
I
that's not
haven't had a
great.
chance to check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out either. Pert Miney said, I appreciate that. No problem,
Mhm.
man. You deserve it. I really want to see this movie, but I'm gonna wait for it to come out on 4K on Blu-ray. Nice. Pert Miney said he was a fan of Saturday Night.
That's what's up.
Also, Prodigious Spider Star Saturday Night was pretty dope. He'd watch it
Mhm.
again. But Sully Streams says Kenny hit it right on the head. If the movies are bad, usually they took risks. So that's made choices you don't agree with, which can still be commendable. But if a movie's boring, biggest cinema sin.
100%.
I agree. I enjoyed Saturday Night. I went to think it would be boring, so so any smidge of comedy worked for me. Also had a great crowd. A great crowd will help.
Yeah, especially with a comedy,
Yeah,
you can actually kind of
yeah,
feel the energy in the room when you're watching a comedy that's really funny and engaging the audience.
yeah. When I went to go see Bottoms, was that last year or the year
I was
before?
thinking the exact same movie. The exact same movie. My crowd loved it, and I loved it too. It was so
Yeah,
fun.
we went crazy from almost beginning to end. It was just nonstop
Yep.
laughing. Oh my god, I need to go watch that movie again.
Yeah, it's good. It's so good.
Another movie exclusively for Kenny because I'll be missing these streaming movies is
Mhm.
Wolves. It's ranked number 35, which is pretty high.
Mhm.
Um, what do you think about it? Oh, actually, hold up. I have it up. I have it up. No, I don't. Oh, I definitely want to watch this with my mom. This seems like a movie my mom would love. It says, hired to cover up a high-profile crime, a fixer soon finds his night spiraling out of control when he's forced to work with an unexpected counterpart. This is directed by John Watts, the people who did the Homecoming trilogy, Spider-Man one.
Yeah, and it's really good. George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Is
Brad
that
Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
Mhm.
Yeah, George Clooney and Brad Pitt have incredible like chemistry throughout. Essentially, the movie is about two what would you say cleaners
Yeah,
who actually go to like uh, a a judge or a DA, I forget what she was, that was partying a little too hard, and someone you know caught a body, and they had to cover it up. But you only call one cleaner, but two showed up, so it becomes a very interesting like back and forth with them trying to work together. It's a lot of fun, and I had a really good time with it. And it's funny. It's funny as hell. And
yeah.
like George Clooney and Brad Pitt give off incredible performances. Really
Mm.
enjoyed the entirety of this movie.
They had great chemistry.
Great chemistry.
Gotcha. Well,
But
what kind of comedy would you
I
say?
believe they worked together on the Ocean's movies, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
so
turning
that
together
makes
in
a
those
lot of
movies.
sense. Yeah.
What kind of comedy would you say it is?
Um, not slapstick, nothing like that. Just like I'm looking for the word. It is. I'm trying to like. It's it's almost dry humor. It's
Okay.
kind of dry humor, but it's not like
So like dad humor, dad jokes.
no.
Yeah,
it's like situational comedy. Like it's funny because of the
situation.
situation that they're in.
Situation. Okay,
Mhm.
so like the situations are ridiculous and it makes it funny.
Yeah, they gotta figure out a
Gotcha.
way. But there's also a lot of good dramatic scenes too. So it's not just a like a straight up like laugh throughout.
Gotcha. Definitely gonna have to check this out. It's on Apple, right?
Hmm.
Um, I just found out my Apple TV was on my PS5, so I'm definitely gonna try to watch more of the stuff. They have really high quality stuff. It's just
Yeah.
they're not on Android. They're gonna be
Mhm.
on Android. I think now you can get it on Prime Video, so I will be able to watch it on my phone, and that's where I watch most of my shows. So I'm definitely gonna be
Mhm.
watching more of this stuff. Severance is coming soon. Season 2 trailer dropped. I'm
Yeah,
hyped.
boy, I
I'm
cannot
hyped.
wait.
I cannot wait for Severance season 2. Where would you put Wolves?
Full price.
Wow, okay. Above,
Mhm.
House or no?
House is just House is weird because it's like, how do this is one of those movies that you just shouldn't compare to anything else.
Yeah,
Um, uh, I would keep House first, to be honest with
okay.
you. Yeah,
That's fair. It's gonna be hard for something to top House because it's just so wild.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good question. What would you say makes a boring movie?
Um, an uninteresting, not even an uninteresting plot, like that are characters that don't make you feel for them. Right? It's it's
Mhm,
it's all in the tone of a film. Like
mhm,
most movies that I really enjoy have an established tone that is and the pacing is really good as well. It like gets you into the actual story and makes you care about it. If I don't care about what your characters are doing, I don't care about this film. And there's something about that like lack of kineticism in some movies that just get me to check out. I would say that Borderlands is one of those movies. I would say that the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths movies are those movies, which is a sin because you have the entire Justice League. How do you make a movie boring? Like that's crazy. So it makes me not
yeah,
care about what's going on. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, that would be it. There's a certain tone in films that catch me uh, that makes it for a better experience.
Yeah, I think for me, a boring movie is just something that, like, fall flat on all levels, like, either gonna have to be, like, a character-driven story where you're there for the characters and what they're doing and everything like that, and the plot is kinda secondary, and those characters are either relatable or really, like, charismatic,
Hmm.
or it's a story-driven film where the characters are more like chess pieces, so we can get to this interesting plot and figure out all
Yeah,
the little mysteries and things like that. If it just falls flat, like there's no urgency, I think urgency is a big part of it.
yep.
Like things
That's the
if
same
things
what I meant by
matter.
pacing. Yeah,
Yeah, like I need to feel like things matter. Like does your emotional investment as the character matter in what's going on? No, then why do I care?
right.
Um, does the director care about, like, how long conversations are? If you don't, then why am I listening?
Yeah,
Like, things like that. If I'm watching an action scene and I feel like there's no, stakes to it, they're just fighting because this is an action movie and it has to have an action scene here, I'm gonna be bored. No matter
yeah,
how flashy, how many things are thrown, if I feel like when I watch movies, even though I know the most likely the protagonist, like John Wick, I know he's gonna make it to the next one, right?
right.
Um, but my suspension of disbelief is like there's a possibility he might die.
A good movie will make you feel like the protagonist can die.
Yeah,
A good
exactly. Even
action, a
though in
good
the back
action
of my
movie
head
for
I
sure.
know.
Yeah,
And then when good movies do kill off protagonists and it switches to another one, whoa, that's great because like
right.
my suspension of disbelief was already there. So
Yeah.
I think that's some of the things. It's really hard. Sometimes things just don't connect with you.
Hmm.
On a intellect, spiritual, and a cultural level, right? Like,
Right.
there's just certain things, and I think also I think it depends on how many movies you've seen. So if you've seen a lot of film and TV shows, and if a film and show is just not bringing anything new to a certain type of kind of film, and then the
Mhm.
character is not super interesting, it can feel really boring.
And also, if a movie kind of feels directionless, like I think of I saw the TV Glow, and for a lot of it, I was just
Mhm.
sitting there like, what are we doing? Like, what are we talking
Yeah,
about? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What does this character want? He doesn't want anything. He doesn't want anything. Why do I care about what's going on here? Like that movie frustrated me because I watched the whole thing and I just sat there like do something. Like I was poking with a stick. Like okay, like you set up this really interesting TV thing with this
yeah,
supernatural villain, but you didn't do anything with it. So yeah, I think
yeah.
that's part of it.
Yeah, the movie's premise was interesting, but the actual movie itself just bored the shit out of me. I was sitting there like, oh, and I felt like that with Kinds of Kindness. I think halfway through, or maybe like because it's an anthology. I think halfway through, I was like, oh, I got to do it because it's like the big movie of
Mm.
the year, one of the bigger movies of the year. But by the
Yeah.
time I got to the third story, I was just like, can you get me out of here? Like,
That's interesting because like
check.
I was frustrated with that movie, but I was never bored. And I think it's really
Okay.
interesting with uh the Joker, right? Joker 2.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie, but I was never bored while watching it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was always like into like what's going on here? Oh, okay. Well, what's going on? Like I understood what they were trying to do. It just didn't
Yeah.
work for me.
It didn't work for you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those are good examples.
Yeah,
Bottoms is fire. It definitely is.
correct.
I bought it. Wait, there's a physical media for it? I need to go get that.
Mhm. Mhm.
But SNL actual show is still buns to be clear. Lack of action, uneven pacing, tons of exposition. Tons of exposition can make
Tons
a
of
movie boring.
exposition will kill something. Yeah.
Yeah, just what comes to mind for me personally. I don't put lack of action because not every movie's an action movie, but
Mhm.
action also can be put in a place like the characters are doing something. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be fighting, but you got to be doing something and
Mhm.
facing some type of conflict. Um, Zach, when you go see when you went to go see Conclave, did you have any nuns in your theater? Because I think I did. No, I don't think I had any nuns in my theater. That would have been very interesting. I don't think I've ever
I
seen
don't
a
think
nun
I've
go to
ever
the
seen a
movies.
nun in a movie theater.
No, that would be very, very interesting. Zach, question: have you picked up any physical media in the last few months? Yeah, I'm not doing the physical media videos anymore, so I guess I could show this real quick. I got Kill Steelbook.
Cool.
Covers fire.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like one of those
fire
slip
cover.
covers where it takes the blood hand off. Superman and Lois, season
Nice.
3. And I got The Crow.
Okay, the original.
The original. Yeah, not the trash that
I
we
still
got.
have to see that.
Yeah, man. I think you'll like it. Hello, amazing people. How old are y'all doing? I think he said, how are you doing?
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm doing
doing
good.
well, Obi Thorin.
Doing great. Doing great.
The movie Rumors was incredibly boring. Ooh, I wanted to go see that, and I heard good things about it, but he said it was boring. Okay. If it makes me go, like, 80% of the film, it was boring.
That's how I felt watching Borderlands. I was just sitting there like,
Yeah, I liked it a little bit more than most, but
hmm
I still don't think it's a good movie, and I felt like I was bored for a lot of it. Like, I
yeah,
was like, "Okay." Like, there's nothing happening here that's inspiring at all,
yeah.
like, at all. The next film we have coming up is Azrael, which is Kenny's number 58 movie on his letterbox and number 68 for me. This is currently streaming on Shutter, and I think it just became available to rent. Starring what's her name, Samara Weaving. It says
hmm
years after the apocalypse, a devout cult of mute zealots hunts down Israel, a young woman who escaped from her own imprisonment. Kenny, how do you feel about Israel?
I enjoyed the hell out of Ezreal. Actually, don't let the number 50 fool you. I've seen a lot of movies this
Yeah,
year, so something's got to be at 50. And this was my number 50 movie, and I like the entire time I was enjoying number one. What was the main actress's name? That was from
Samara Weaving.
yeah, Samara Weaving. She's great in this movie, just as good as she was in Ready or Not. A lot of stuff that she does with her face, like a lot of like just without her even speaking, her acting with her facial features is incredible in this film. And I just
It's a
found
silent
the
film, you know.
essentially because they a lot of it. I don't think there was a lot of dialogue in this movie at all. There's like
I think
very
only
little.
one person spoke, and it was in Spanish.
Yeah. So a lot of the appeal of this film, or a lot of the things I thought went well with this film, is the ability to make a movie with very little, almost no dialogue, and it still be compelling, because they had to do a lot of things with the camera to make you actually understand what was going on and care about what was going on. And I did both, and I felt both, I should say. So like I really enjoy this. The ending, whoo, pop the Molly, I'm sweating like that. That that ending was, man, you know what I mean?
It was wild.
Like get the oil from the church. You know what I'm saying? Throw it on the monitor or the TV screen. Plead the blood of Jesus if you need to, because that ending was wild, but it was a good ending. It was dope.
Yeah, you've talked about like um don't summon shit in my house, and they did the worst kind of summoning that they
Oh my
could.
god, they was summoning it up. They was doing
I
all
was
the
just like,
summoning.
bruh. And in the worst way too, through a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A baby.
a baby. Yeah, I really just like you enjoyed Ezreal. I think it was very unique. Kind of like Quiet Place in terms
Hmm.
of like no dialogue, but even more because I think Quiet Place they
Yeah,
did talk a little bit, but
yeah,
here they didn't talk at all.
right.
Samara Weaving needs to be in a Tim Burton film because she looks like a Tim Burton character. The
Hmm.
way she configures her face and eyebrows, her big, beautiful blue eyes, was very striking, especially since the cinematography was so dry and gray.
Yeah,
Her eyes really popped.
yeah.
Um, the main character went through a lot.
Yep. She
Like
went through
she was
a
getting her
hell of a lot.
ass kicked the whole movie.
Yeah.
Just accident after accident, running away from the zealots, running away from the weird zombie vampire things that were chasing everybody.
Hmm.
The sound design was really good because it was like you always felt like something was behind her at all
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
And then she'll just be like, "Oh, my foot hurts," and then you look behind her, and the one of the shits is just on a rock licking blood, and you're like, "Oh, whoa!"
Oh
No,
my god, the design of the creatures was phenomenal, because I was creeped
was
out.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was such a good movie. Um I think I gave it like a C plus. There was
Mhm.
something in the film that I feel like it didn't make it like it was great, but I do think that it was really good and worth the watch. And definitely go check it out on Shutter or rent it if you don't
Yeah.
have Shutter.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just a really good movie with a very great leading performance. Like the lead performance is great. The action is solid too. It's not
Mhm.
anything amazing. I
Yeah.
think there's one really good action scene that's kind of like a one take after
Oh, yeah.
the car crash.
Mhm.
That was really, really good. But yeah, overall, creepy movie, solid action. It's not that long,
Nope.
which is really, really important.
Yeah.
It didn't overstay its welcome. And the ending, like you said, grab the oils. Uh,
Mhm.
you know what? For me, I was mad to see this in the movie theater,
Uh,
but
mhm.
I don't think full price matinee.
Matinee's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, I think matinee would have been a really, really good time for this movie. See it on a discount.
Mhm.
Let's see what you guys are saying. Said awesome pickups. I appreciate that. Um, he said, let's see. And boring could mean a lot of things for a lot of people. For example, Oppenheimer, amazing story, acting, but someone could be like, "There's no action. I'm out." Like you said, John Wick. Yeah, some
Mhm.
people really like action films. They might have went into Oppenheimer, and the thing about Oppenheimer's trailer, it positioned itself like an action movie. If you remember those trailers, it was edited like an action film. So I can see somebody coming in and like, "Oh, these people just talking
That
for three
pacing
hours."
that pacing in that movie was like it would not stop.
No.
But yeah.
Hurt Mind is Ezreal Fire. You liked it. I remember watching your review. I remember you saying you like it.
Mhm.
Like for example, when I was watching Dune 2, when the action was happening, I was really into the movie, but on the storytelling was happening, I was bored out of my mind. And you're not the first person I've seen say that. Some people are just not invested in the characters and the story of Dune
Yeah.
2 and the Dune movies in general, especially Dune 1. That was like a big complaint.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's still my favorite movie of the year. I was invested in the action and the storytelling.
It's in my top 5 this year, so yeah, I really enjoyed it as
Yeah.
well.
He said, I've seen 21 new releases and 154 older movies. Wow.
Nice. That's what's up.
Hey, Zach and Kenny. What's up, Michael
What's up,
101591?
Michael?
How you doing? Let's see. Next movie is a movie that I only saw with a wild ass name, and that's called Daddy's Head.
I got the synopsis right
Oh,
here. Uh,
yep.
a boy and his widowed stepmother find themselves in fear for their lives after they are visited by an unexplainable creature which appears to mimic the boy's recently deceased father.
Yeah, I think this was one little extra thing away from being a great movie, maybe one of the best movies of the year. It just needed a little extra spice in there to do that. But I do still think it's really worth a watch. Obviously, it's my number 71. Don't just because it's 71, that's out of 110 movies. And also, so far I've only seen 10 bad movies this year, maybe less than that.
Hmm.
Um, and I really enjoyed the film. I think that the main actor, the little kid in the movie, was great. One of the best character performances, in terms of like a little kid that I've seen in a long time. He did a really good job of like all the range of emotions that the director was asking him to do. He did it really well because basically the main plot is the father dies, a creature crash lands, and we're not sure if is the father what's that called, reincarnated
Hmm.
or possessed or the creature just imitating. And while they're trying to figure that out, and he thinks it's his dad brought back to life, and the stepmom is trying to figure out if she wants to keep the kid in the first place because
Mm.
she's like, I didn't want to be a mom in the first place. I just wanted to be married to him. It's like a whole lot of complicated feelings that the movie is going through while this
Yeah.
creepy ass shit is just in the house doing weird shit. Uh so like without the creature, it's an interesting family drama that I
Hmm.
would have enjoyed. I think with the creature, it kind of elevates it and showcases kind of the grief and the different stages of grief that both characters went through. I think there's some really artsy things about the way the set design is
Hmm.
and the cinematography, where they made everything feel so cold. Because how cold it was between the two characters. But when you watch the flashbacks with the father alive, everything is more vibrant and it feels more like a home. And then the where the creature was staying in the woods felt very spiky and unnatural because it was like a natural being. It was just a really great premise and like direction and I think the actors did really, really great. I just think the story just needed maybe another twist or just a little bit more creep factor, just something to elevate it up. But I do highly recommend it if you have Shutter.
Or
Um honestly, I think this is a matinee as well. I do think it's a little better than just like a regular streaming film because of the details and the production design.
mm,
Do I like it more than Ezreal? Wait, where did I have Ezreal
matinee, right,
at?
right in front of it.
No, in terms of like
Oh, okay.
rank in my letterbox, I had 68. So yeah, I do think Ezreal's a little better.
Mm.
So I'll keep Daddy's Head. That's a wild ass saying. At matinee. The next film is going to be a film that only Kenny saw in another movie I really, really wish I would have to see. Piece by Piece.
Piece by piece.
Yeah. Lego bricks tell the life story of singer, songwriter, and record producer Pharrell Williams from his childhood in Virginia to his success in the music and fashion industry. Talk about it.
So full disclosure, I have recorded a review for this movie about it feels like 2 3 weeks ago, and I just have not put it out. But that's not to say anything because I actually really really enjoy this film. The movie is like a trip through memory lane for me in a musical sense because we're telling Pharrell's story, and Pharrell's story has a lot to do, and Pharrell has a lot to do with a lot of the music I enjoyed growing up, whether it was Eclipse, Jay Z, Nas, like Busta Rhymes, all types of different rappers and even pop singers as well, and Pharrell himself in his music too. And that entire Virginia Beach like scene or that Virginia scene really brings out a lot of the wave of early 2000s late 90s early 2000s music that I enjoyed. So watching Pharrell's life and taking that trip through memory lane through the guys of Lego was just super fun. And I thought that it was a really fun choice to do it with Lego. Uh, pardon me, because it allows you to do so many things it allowed Pharrell and allowed the creators of the movie to explore this story and just add so many of the, I guess, things that you would only kind of accept in animation, if that makes sense. Like, so
Mhm.
it gave you that freedom, right? So it gave them the freedom to
Yeah.
create in that way. So I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I do think that the end took a little long to end,
Mhm.
but it took a little long to land the plane. But for the most part, I thought that the movie delivered, and it's not just a pat on the back to Pharrell. It actually goes through like his victories for sure, but a lot of his struggles and how he had to grow up in a lot of ways through interacting with the industry and the lull that his career took as for um wait what and the lull that happened after his own single Frontin', right? So Frontin' came out and Pharrell didn't put out another single of his own for 3 years, which sounds crazy to me because I didn't even realize that or recognize it.
Yeah.
He never put anything out after that because he was uh not traumatized, but he had extreme imposter syndrome from his own success. So it was a really
Mm.
interesting story. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I this is something I really wish I got to go and see in the theaters. I'm definitely gonna check it out once, it comes for rental, because I wanna make sure
Hmm.
I, like, pay money for it to
Yeah,
support it. It's just another initiative of me trying to go out and see, like, Black movies as well, and especially
hmm,
ones that are celebrating some of our artists. Because Pharrell, is a deep part of my childhood, right? Like,
yeah,
not just hip hop, but pop, R&B. He has
right,
his hands in
right. R&B
every single
too.
genre.
Hmm.
Gwen Stefani, yeah,
Usher,
a big part of her career, Pink, like, the list goes on, and
Daft Punk.
you may not even know that you've been affected by Pharrell
Yeah,
because he doesn't put a tag. The only tag he has is the
the
3
four
syllable
beats.
3 things that he does, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that biopics have and I think I saw that, Prejudice said, "I'm not knocking Piece by Piece, but I feel like it's unnecessary, like, who asks for it?" No one asks for any kind of movie that, that's made.
yeah,
I didn't ask for Dune 2 to be made, but I love it.
right. Same
Um,
thing with the Matrix.
uh
Same thing with any film that I truly enjoy. I didn't ask for it necessarily. I didn't ask for a Spider Verse
yeah,
movie, and I got it.
yeah.
It was great.
And I don't ask for any of these biopics. We get
Yeah,
tons of biopics all the time, and most of them are not that creative. And I love that this has come out and is very creative. And then we also have Monkey, which I forgot which
yeah.
artist it is,
Hmm.
but he in place of him, it's a monkey
Hmm.
because he felt like that's how he saw himself, and I think that's very interesting.
Yeah,
And I'm glad that they're trying to do more creative things than the normal, you watch it and they start from when they're little and
yeah.
then they, turn what? I don't know, they turn to drugs and they start falling and then find a way back. Like, that's kind of a
Same.
usual
Yeah.
biopic that we get all the time,
Yep.
and, I'm glad that Pharrell was able to do something different,
Yep.
um, and hopefully inspires other people.
And I think one of the best parts of it is that it is a mixture of like linear storytelling of his life, but there's also a
Mhm.
bunch of interviews of different artists that he's worked with throughout his career. And the
Yeah.
best part about it is that he didn't tell them that the movie was going to be in Lego.
Oh,
Yeah, so and the reason why he didn't tell them is because he didn't want them because like imagine you saying you're gonna be in a movie. Oh no, you're gonna be in a Lego movie. You might tone down some of your language, or you might tone up some of your like
trying to voice
animatedness.
that.
Yeah, trying to be an actor in a movie if you
Yeah,
tell them that it's a Lego documentary. And that's why a lot of the stories that are told feel so natural, even though it's
and
told through
authentic.
Lego. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's dope. He says, "I'm back, and the only am I the only one when I hear Ezra, I hear the Batman character." Yeah,
No,
every
yeah,
time I hear
for
that
sure.
name, I think about the Batman character.
Mhm.
If I have to be brutally honest, is I think it's been a TV show year this year compared to movies. For example, there's been The Penguin, Fallout, and so many others when it comes to movies, not as good. I don't know. I haven't watched that many TV shows this year. I can't even think of 10 if gonna be honest. There's a lot of stuff I want to catch up on. I've seen a lot of great movies.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
not gonna lie. I think that like a lot of people said there was a lot of movies that were in my top 10 that is now like in the middle,
Hmm.
because so many great movies have started coming out.
Yeah.
But I got 3 all-timers this year already. Doom Part 2 for me, The
Hmm.
Substance for me,
Ooh, Substance.
and
Great.
Alien Romulus. Like, I could easily
Hey, that's a good
put
one.
those 3 movies in my best favorite films of all time list and not even
Hmm.
blink an eye and feel like, "Oh my god, it's too early." I don't
Yeah.
feel that at all.
Yeah.
Um And Turtles All the Way Down is like a movie that, like, when I talk about the movie all the time, but that's like I love coming of age stories, and I can easily put that in my favorite coming of
Hmm.
age stories. I don't know where, it's probably not the top, but it can be, like, in the middle somewhere. So,
Yeah.
I had a good time this year. I know, like, you're in Australia, so I don't know if certain releases are different for you, but, you definitely need to go check out some of these smaller movies,
Hmm.
and, yeah, we don't have as much big blockbusters this year that are great,
Yeah.
but we do have a lot of great dramas and indie movies.
I mean, we did have Twisters. We had A Quiet Place Day
Oh,
One.
yeah.
We had Bad
Yeah.
Boys 4. Uh,
Yeah.
Inside Out 2, which is not like a well, I don't know if it
It's an
counts as a
animated blockbuster.
blockbuster, but like we
Yeah.
had a lot of good big budget movies that actually turned out to
Deadpool and
be
Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine people really enjoy. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of movies that I, especially in these last few months, that I've found myself really. Sing Sing is not a blockbuster; it's
Sing
a very
Sing.
small film, and I absolutely love it. It's my number one film of the year. I love Challengers. Like there's a lot of movies that I have really enjoyed this year.
And I think this year has been very diverse. So, like, for
Yep.
example, I love Civil War, you don't, right? Like,
Hmm.
there's
Hmm.
there's movies that people love and don't love, and I think that's great. I think that's what movies should be. Every movie shouldn't be universally loved. Then it
Yeah,
kinda gets boring.
yeah.
um, when it's like that because a lot of times that means they didn't take any risks.
Hmm.
And I like when movies take risks. Like
Yeah,
you talked about Sing Sing, but I in the same light of Sing Sing, Ghostlight, which is a very
I need to
similar
see that.
movie, and You're a Monster, which is very similar
I
in
need to see
terms of
that.
using music and theater to express how you feel and talk about different they're all different situations, but they use music and theater to kind of like bring something out in kind of therapeutic
Yeah.
situation. So
Hmm.
we're getting a lot of musical stuff. You know, Joker 2 is in the same realm of those 3 movies I just talked about in terms of using music and
Hmm.
theater to express things. So, I like that we're getting this variety in movies, even though, like, some people are upset that things are so different, but I like it because a lot of
Yeah.
people were complaining that too many movies are the same, and now we're getting a lot of different ones.
Yep.
And horror is killing it.
Horror is killing this year. This is horror's year for sure.
Yeah. Popping the popcorn, Katie,
Yo,
what's
what's up, K-pop? Super happy to see you here.
up? Said Piece by Piece was so fun. Watched it
I
twice.
also saw
Nice.
it twice. It's one of the few movies I saw twice this year.
Nice. I respect Pharrell, and he's a goat in the industry. But if they made a regular documentary on him, I either wouldn't watch it or would wait business months to do so.
Not
This was
business
a
days,
genius.
business months. It's
Business
crazy.
months. That's amazing.
I thought the same thing the second time leaving the theater. I was like, if this was just a regular documentary, I probably would have never watched this.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not really big in documentaries, so
Yeah.
I can see that.
Hmm.
Hey Zach and Kenny, have you heard of this documentary? Got it grounded to the making of Last of Us Part Two. Yes, I have heard of it.
I have not
I
personally.
haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you guys could only choose one movie and you are stuck on a desert island, what would that movie be? Ooh,
Man, that's tough. Might be
yeah,
Spider Verse for me.
probably Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
think it would be I think it would be Spider-Verse too. Like, I've watched that movie so much. I obviously, I'll get bored eventually, but,
Yeah.
like, it would take a long time. Like,
I would only be mad that I couldn't watch the second one right after.
yeah, yeah. Or
Which is
even,
almost
like
why I think I might pick the second one.
yeah,
I don't know, man. Both of those movies are phenomenal.
I think Endgame would be one
Endgame's
for
a good
me.
one. Yeah. I
It
could see
because so
myself
much
getting tired of
happens.
it quickly though.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I can see
Even
that.
though I do love that movie, I could see myself being like, "Oh god, this again."
We doing this again.
Yeah.
Documentary is about when they made The Last of Us 2, the game, and the struggles they went through for this game during the pandemic. Ooh, okay.
Pardon me.
the PG spray still has me rolling. I'm
Yeah,
guessing that's a piece
PG.
by piece reference.
Yeah, PG Spray was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Zach, can I ask a question? Why aren't you going to put out any physical media pickups videos anymore? Is it because you're not getting people viewing them? I always viewed them. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I've been stripping back what I've been doing. If you notice on the channel, it's only been reviews for the most part. And my reviews have been doing decently. The physical media videos just haven't been hit, and I don't want to put in a lot of time in something that like the people on my channel for the most part. Like I love that you love it, but like if 90% of the people are don't, then I'm not really gonna put too much effort into it.
Right.
I think what I'll do is when I live stream, I'll showcase what I've gotten. So
That
like
makes
when I
sense.
do this community Q&A, I'll showcase everything I've gotten. But like just doing a video for it, I'm probably not gonna do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought Turtle All the Way Down was really good. It's in my top 10 movies of the year so far, even though I've only seen 8 movies on the list. Nice.
Nice. I have it very high.
Exhibiting for You have it hyped too as well?
Mm.
Yes. Exhibiting Forgiveness was really good sleeper. I wanna see that movie so bad.
This is my first time hearing of it.
It looks so good, and it has, the lead actress from Origin is in it. Aver
Oh,
I don't know how to say her name.
Ingenue Ellis.
Yes, she's in that as well.
Mhm.
So I haven't seen Sing Sing. I don't even think it's playing anywhere near me. I tried to look it up and see if it's gonna be a physical media release. I couldn't find anything about it. It takes a long time for A24 films to get physical media releases.
Mhm.
I don't know what they're doing with Sing Sing, to be honest with you. It's so weird with this release strategy. I felt
I
like it never really got a wide release.
It literally was
Um,
playing in Philly for, like, a week, and not even that,
yeah,
it was, like, 1 day out of that week, and, like, there were no other showings. I was
yeah. It's
lucky to
available
be
for
able to see
rent.
it. Yeah.
So I would say rent it, and check it out,
Mhm.
because that's how I saw it. I've had a great year for cinema, missing my comic book films fix, but it's nice to have variety. Love the original films people keep saying aren't being made. We've been feasting this
Yeah,
year. Yeah.
100%.
Strange Darling. See
Strange
that?
Darling is so good.
So damn good.
So good.
Sorry, I have 4 more movies I want to see for the year. Gladiator 2, Wicked 1, Part 1, Jury Number 2, and The Complete Unknown. I want to see all those well, Wicked Part 1 I'm not watching, but all other ones I want to see. All right. So this next movie, I'm gonna need to help with the chat because I already know me and Kenny are gonna have very different views on it. And
Mhm.
this is called It's What's Inside.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. As you can see by our number rankings. Let me see. IMAX. I'm gonna put up a poll. If you've seen the movie, vote. Full price streaming and skip. And vote and let us know. But What's Inside is a Netflix film's a pre-wedding reunion descends into a psychological nightmare for a group of college friends when a surprise guest arrives with a mysterious suitcase that starts to tear the group apart. Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
That's what happened.
Um, Talk about It's What's Inside.
This movie pissed me the hell off.
Right.
So throughout the movie, I was along the ride for the film. Let me say this first: well acted, well produced, look great, sound great. All the technical things about a movie that you wanted to have, it had for sure. So there's nothing cheap about it or anything like that. My issue with it is the motivations of two of the leads was so juvenile that I kind of just I checked out once I realized, or not the motivations, the actions between of two of the characters by the end were so juvenile that I kind of checked out towards the end. One of the characters leaves somebody in a situation because they felt uh, unsatisfied with a relationship, but the situation that they leave them in is one of the worst situations that you can leave somebody in. And if you look at it from like an actual mature perspective, I'm not calling anybody who liked this movie immature. I'm not saying that at all. You're like, if you don't grow the hell up, and then the other person, the main antagonist of the film, what that person goes through and how that person tries to get um, some modicum of revenge on the group of people who are at the house. If you don't grow the hell up, and that's kind of like how I felt about two of the main characters of the film. So while the switching worked out pretty well, the acting was incredible. The story itself really let me down in the end because I wanted it to be better. Like I wanted the motivation behind some of the actions of the characters to actually make sense and be mature. Not even necessarily be mature, but like not be so immature that it kind of like just takes me out of the movie, and it really did. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and on the opposite spectrum for me, one thing I can agree 100% with is that the ending, I was like, "Really? You gonna leave him? Okay."
Mhm.
Um, I was like, "He did what he did wasn't that bad," but, also,
No.
I was just like I remember watching Midsummer and the ending of that where the boyfriend gets burnt to a crisp in a bear costume, and I was like, "He didn't deserve that," but
Yeah.
the journey was so great, I don't care, and I think that's kinda what it was, because there's, like, multiple conclusions to this film, and that's just one of them. The other one that you didn't like, I actually kinda liked because this is like a comedy, horror, psychological thriller kind of film, and when it comes to comedy, I don't expect characters to make mature choices. I do
Mhm.
think it was extreme to leave him there, like, at the end, but the
Yeah.
rest of the decisions, I don't expect characters to make mature choices because comedy usually is in the immaturity of people, and that's what makes it funny.
Mhm.
And I just had a blast with this movie. I wanna say from beginning to end because I think the first couple minutes of the movie is a little, "Eh," but
Mhm.
after a while, when all the characters are together, I just was it was just really, really fun when they start switching. I think the way that they positioned all the switching, like, you always know who was who and where was because it coulda got really confusing,
Yeah.
um, very easily, and they did a really great job of making sure that you were never confused. I like
Mhm.
all the subplots of different relationships and, the escalation of stuff because of what happens, like, in the middle of the movie. I
Yeah.
just had a really good time. It was always engaging. All the characters were iconic and to me, where I will always remember them. Yeah, they're insufferable. Someone said that just now. But I think they're meant to be insufferable. I think if these were, like, kind characters that everyone liked, I think it would be a kind of a boring movie. It reminded me of, what was that black horror movie from last year? Um,
Um,
bl
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
The
Oh my god,
the
I can't
blackening.
remember right now.
The
The
blackening.
Blackening, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really think any of those characters were likable, but I liked the movie and I liked all the
Yeah. I
characters,
had a
even
good
though I
time
don't
with that
think they were
movie.
likable people, but I had a good
Mhm.
time, and I think that the antagonist in that movie had a um, similar with the antagonist here, but this one was a little bit more extreme because she went to, like, a asylum or something like that. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I just think on a technical level, this was great. The this was the director's first movie, which I that blows my mind.
I think that that
Um
in itself is impressive because that person
Yeah, and if
incredible
the
talent.
ending was better in terms of, like, what that situation, this would have been a
Mhm.
5 out of 5 for me, but
Yeah.
because that ending was like, "What?" to me, I was it dropped it down to, like, a 4 out of 5 for me, which is still not
Mhm.
bad.
Mhm.
Still one of my favorite movies of the year. I had so much fun. I wanna watch it with people because I think it's gonna be a fun movie to watch. But for me, it was a full price kind of film. I would have been happy to watch this in theaters. How do you feel about it?
Um, it's a stream for me. Um,
Stream.
yeah, it's not the worst movie
Uh,
I've ever seen, but it just I think that ending just really bothered the hell out of me.
okay, and based on the votes, I it's split between a streaming and a skip. So I'm gonna put it as streaming, unfortunately, despite it everything inside me telling me, "Oh, did we
Mhm.
rank Piece by Piece?" We did not rank that movie.
I don't think so.
Uh, where
That's
would you put Piece by Piece?
full price.
Uh, Better Than Wolves?
Yeah,
Okay. And in Suicide Side, would you say it's better than Sugar Hill?
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think it's better than both of those.
Uh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So the chat has spoken and was more on Kenny's side this time.
that's
You
right.
betrayed me. I'd say that's right. The next movie up is VHS Beyond. This is my first VHS movie that I've watched. I've seen a segment of a VHS movie, but I've never watched
Mhm.
from beginning to end.
So,
And if you don't know what VHS is, it's a collection of horror segments in one film, and they usually all have a similar theme, whether it's sci-fi, whether it's period piece, whether it's alien. So like every single movie that's within it will have it. And this one was about aliens, I believe. So six blood-curdling tapes unleash horror in a sci-fi inspired hellscape, pushing the boundaries of fear and suspense. The main reason I wanted to go check this film out is because it is one of the segments is directed by Justin Long, which I'm a fan of. He's a
okay.
douchebag in every horror movie
Yeah.
that is
He
directed
gets
and
it.
written by him and his brother. Um, and also Katie Siegel,
Mhm.
who is one of my favorite movies, Hush, and she's in a lot of Mike Flanagan films, and Mike Flanagan is one of my favorite director, and obviously they're married, so he always casts her in movies. But she's also actually a good actress. This is her directorial debut, so I wanted to see how if she got some of the directing chops of her husband. And on top of that, that same segment had one of my favorite internet personalities in there, in Alana Pierce, who used to work for IGN, and she has her own YouTube channel, and she's been voice acting, and I just enjoy her in general. Just wanted to see how she did in like a live action debut. And I think that this movie was enjoyable overall. I think I gave it like 3 stars on Letterbox, and if I was to grade it on a Zack Attack scale, it'd be like a C. I think each segment is solid. I think one of the segments in there doesn't fit everything else because I felt like everything had like an alien kind of thing to it, and then one of them was just like kind of like way off. Kind of, it didn't feel like it was alien at all. It felt
Mhm.
more sawish. But there are certain segments in here that I would have loved to watch a full movie of it. There's one where this group of people are going on a skydiving trip, and it's from the POV of one character. So you're the main character's POV, and you see everything's going on. And in the middle of them flying in the plane, alien invasion starts. And as the ship is coming down, a piece of the ship hits their plane and breaks it, and they're falling. And the way they filmed all that in one take was mind blowing. I would have loved to see that on the big screen.
Mhm.
And some of them parachutes, like some of the parachutes lift. He's like trying to get his parachute off, and he sees an alien coming down and
Oh no.
hopping on one of his friends. It's like an insane sequence. And from there, it's just a really interesting ride. There's another one that's kind of like zombie like, with like aliens infecting in your brain and taking you over and turning you kind of like a zombie. Um,
Is this on
there's
Shutter?
the one that yes, on Shutter. One that Katie Siegel directed is about a woman in the 80s or 70s or something like that, who believes in aliens, is hunting them down and trying to get pictures of them, and then she gets sucked up into an alien spaceship.
Mhm.
There's a lot of interesting different ones in there. Like I said, there's 6 of them. There's one that came from India that I think that was the weakest one, unfortunately. But other than that, I think this is worth a watch. I think the VHS movies are really, really interesting because they have ideas that you probably won't get to see in full length because
Mhm.
they probably won't get the budget to do them, but to do it in like, I guess the movie is like an hour and something, so they get to do like 15-minute segments. I
Yeah.
think it's worth it. And it was really, really cool.
That's what's up. I want to check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be a good time to watch it on Halloween. So with VHS, I think it's a solid streaming movie. I, I'll leave it behind Saturday Night and Sugar Hill because I haven't seen those 2 movies and I don't necessarily know if they're better. But I think this is a good spot for it right here.
Mhm.
Let's see what you guys have to say. She said sheesh when you what's inside counts when it saw the 76 and the 36. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Hey, the net, what's
Hey, what's up, man?
up? How you doing? I really
Good to
like
see you.
what's inside, but I feel Kenny's POV. Okay. I say skip since I haven't seen it. Prodigious? How could you do this to me? Has a great premise, but the characters are insufferable. I agree. They are.
Indeed.
I said skip because I haven't seen it. Nanette! How could you guys do this to me? Yeah, some of the choices were straight up dumb. I love the editing style of this so much. My ADHD behind was like,
Yeah, the editing in this was really good. Like a lot
yeah,
of it was real. A lot of that movie was really good. The
Yeah,
from a technical
the
standpoint.
editing is probably some of the best editing of the year, to be
Mhm.
honest. Hey, Zach and Kenny, I'll be right back. We'll make a phone call. Just looked online, and Jury Number Two comes out this Friday. Yeah, I want to see it, but it's so limited, and it seems like the distributor doesn't believe in it. So I'm probably not gonna get a chance to check it out because there's so much crap coming out. I might not even be going to the movies this weekend, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Because there's the movies that are coming out is like Here, which I heard was okay. This movie, which is gonna be hard to find. There's nothing like major coming out or anything that I'm like super interested in. So
Yeah,
if there's like a big streaming movie, I might just watch that at home and then review that.
that makes sense.
I'm going to either back or take my leave in case I'm not back. Going to eat. Okay, thank you, man, for being in here.
Yeah, man.
I will never forgive you for voting Skip, even though you didn't see the movie. You messed up my chances for It's One Side. I'm playing with you, man. I appreciate you being here. If the ending was better, it could have been a full price, but I went with streaming. That's fair.
I agree.
Have you guys seen the Severance teaser trailer? Yes, I
I
have.
have, and
Super
I'm excited.
excited. I never watched any of the VHS movies. That's fair. Skip for me. Not for him. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got a lot of movies still. Cotto Lake. This is
Catholic.
this is Sully Stream's favorite movie.
Mhm. Is
This
it?
is a Max exclusive. No, I don't think it is, but he
I
loved it
thought it
though.
was bike riders.
Probably. When an 8-year-old girl mysteriously vanishes, a series of past deaths and disappearances start to link together, forever altering a broken family's history. That's a really good synopsis.
Very good. Yeah.
So that's literally what happened. Talk about Cotto Lake, man.
I really enjoyed this movie. It why can't I talk? I cannot talk. No, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was all the technical things were really good. But what I do like about this film is how well they handled and it's a question of how well they handled, but how well they handled the God, I can't speak.
Time,
Yeah, the time
the
displacement,
sci-fi aspect.
the
Yeah,
sci-fi aspects of it, the non-linear storytelling. A lot of it was really good. And once you figure out what the mystery is, or once they tell you what the mystery is, it feels worth it. It feels like, oh wow, that's some good storytelling because all of it kind of works together. Nothing feels like it doesn't belong in this film at
yeah,
all. So I was really into the mystery of it. So it got me. Like, so, pardon me. So once I get into something, if you hold my attention like that, I'm all for it. So yeah, a lot of twists and turns, and you're constantly questioning like what's happening, and that's good because if you're questioning what's happening in a way where you want to actually find out, that means that they did a good job of pulling you in. So I really enjoyed this film.
yeah. This is one of the movies on the list that me and Kenny watched together.
Hmm.
And we were just chatting the whole movie because we're like, wait, hold on, what? So this means this, and then and I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep.
that's that communal experience that I think that this movie does a really good job on. I think it's a really good movie to watch with someone.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of one of my favorite shows of all time, which is Dark, which is on Netflix.
Hmm.
Has a similar premise, but obviously more fleshed out and longer because it's a 3-season show. But I'm a fan of Dylan O'Brien. I think he should be a bigger actor than he actually is.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job here. There's a couple actors in here that I've never seen before, like the redheaded girl that was another protagonist. She did a really good job.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I think the movie does a really good job of establishing the family in the beginning. Because at first it's like, oh, is this just a family drama? I thought this was like a horror or
I
sci-fi film.
thought so too. Actually, I
Yeah,
didn't know what it was. I didn't watch any trailers for it, so I thought it was
yeah,
just like a family drama. And
yeah.
then
And the
it
family
is
drama
like
aspect of it was interesting.
right.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
engaging.
agreed.
And then the sci-fi aspects comes to it, and the thriller aspects come into it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm invested.
Mhm.
And then you're trying to like, okay, this person's here, and then this person's here, and this person's gonna meet, is all these things like, and then when all the things is resolved, and you realize, oh, this was actually happening the whole time, because what I
Yeah,
thought was happening is actually not what was happening. And then
not at
when they
all.
found out what was happening, my mind was like, so I think this was a really solid movie. I think that they could have took the chance and released this in theaters. I think that this could have been a movie that I would have watched in theaters and wouldn't have been mad at. It looks good.
Mhm.
All the technical elements are good. There's no plot holes really, and
Yep.
all the performances are strong.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I had a really good time with Kato.
Same.
Let's see, where would you put it though?
Full price.
Full price. Where are we?
I would say it's better than Wolves. Uh, Piece by Piece is different because it's like it has a
Emotional.
emotional attachment to it.
Gotcha. So we'll leave it right there. That's a
Yeah,
solid
yeah.
solid spot. Let me see. Hellboy. Put up the next synopsis. And oh, no. Let's see. I said that I never heard of it because I never heard of it. Yeah, I know. Tidal Lake is one of the best movies for me this year. Had me like, what? At the end, to the point where though I was unsatisfied with the ending, I couldn't even be mad at it. I think that's kind of why it's not like higher up for me in my rankings. I
Yeah,
think that it just kind of ends,
it does.
and I think I needed a little bit more emotional payoff. I think the sci-fi aspect paid off, right? They did the payoff. They did
Yep.
as much as they could with the premise. I just think the emotional aspect needed like maybe 10 minutes more
Hmm.
to really like make this emotionally impactful. I think it impacted my brain and intelligence and filmmaking loving of it. But I
Yeah.
think the emotional part, I was like kind of invested in the emotional part, but I think it fell apart in certain spaces in that aspect.
Hmm. I can definitely
Um,
get with that.
yeah, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Next movie up is Hellboy: Crooked Man. This movie
Let me
has
pull up
such
the
a tumultuous, I think that's the word,
tumultuous.
yeah, release schedule because it was supposed to come out in theaters, and then they pulled it and made it only rental, and the trailer came out, and everybody's like, "This looks like trash," and, like, people have been looking for, like, a Hellboy movie to be, like, big for a while.
Yeah.
David Harbour had one. I was, like, the only person that liked that movie,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then I never watched the Guillermo del Toro movies, the 2 Guillermo
Those
del
are
Toro
really
movies.
good.
People tell me they're always great, but, yeah, Hellboy: Crooked Man. What
Yeah, Hellboy and a rookie BR. I'm sorry, Hellboy and a rookie BPRD agent find themselves stranded in 1950s rural Appalachia. They soon discover a community of witches led by a local devil who has a connection to Hellboy's past.
Yeah, I think that is very accurate, description of this movie.
Hmm.
Oh, man, what can I say about this movie? In terms of, like, production design and everything, like, the production of it, it feels like they took a movie level costume prosthetic, um, Hellboy and threw him into a low budget, folklore horror film. And I think they did that because they probably just didn't believe in this film and didn't want to put a lot of money into it, especially
Yeah.
since Hellboy's brand has been kind of been dipping. There's no new comics coming out. The last movie flopped. So
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure they wanted to get this movie off the ground, but then also they didn't want to put a lot of money. So in terms of production design, it's not the most impressive thing. Some of the kills were impressive. Some of the horror aspects, I was like, I can't see the wires. How are you
Hmm.
doing that? Like, I thought that was really good. I think the acting was solid. I think the chemistry between the characters was really good, especially Hellboy and that rookie cop that they were talking about in the synopsis. I really like their chemistry, and I would like to see them on multiple adventures together. You're laughing at Kello, right? I saw that too.
Hmm.
And I thought this was a solid watch. I think it was worth the rent. I had a good time watching it. I can't if you like Hellboy, if you like the Hellboy brand, if you read the comics, I think you'll get a kick out of this. If you like low budget folk horror films, but with like a superhero in it, I think you also get to check it out. But it's definitely not theatrical. I can see why they decided to skip the theater experience for this because I'm like, yeah, there's some low budget things going on here, um, that I think people would have been upset if they went to the theater to go check it out.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna put Hellboy right here. I think it was a fine time, nothing too crazy, but I had a really, really good time with it.
that's what's up.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and it was like a giant spider with like solid VFX. The movie loses a point because of that because I hate spiders.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Nope.
hey Zach, after Christmas, I'm gonna try to get picked up 3 big physical meal titles that have already came out. Nice. I was scared from the last Hellboy film, so I haven't messed with this yet. Yeah, there's some demonic stuff in that last Hellboy. Friends the Complete 4K. I do want to get Friends on 4K and The Crown. Nice. And West Wing. Nice, nice, nice. Hello Daily. Hey, my nephews are alive. So proud of you. I don't know why you keep trying to nephew us and son us, sir.
Some people.
Um, you
I
need to
had
stop.
a science teacher um, who would always say this. I'm tired. So I had a science teacher who he would always call his son, and one of my classmates was like, "Don't call me son." He's like, "I don't call you son because you mine. I call you son because you shine." And he said that
Ah,
every year, like that was his go-to line in
that's
high
so
school.
corny.
Yeah,
Oh my god. I love it though.
yeah,
It's so corny, but I love it. That's really a dad joke.
very much
Um,
so.
Next up is Your Monster, my number 13th favorite film of the year.
Wow, that's big.
It's big.
Big things
It
happen.
is a comedy, musical, horror, rom-com, drama. Uh,
So it's doing
kind
all the things.
all the things. Kind of based on a true story. The
Mhm.
director and writer, this is based on something that happened to her, but she's interpreting it in like a folklore sense.
Okay.
Um, and basically, soft-spoken actress Laura Franco's life crumbles. She regains her voice after encountering a terrifying but oddly charming monster living in her closet. So, I want to give it a little bit more synopsis. So, this movie, right? Melissa Barrera is Laura. She is a Broadway actress. I did not know Melissa Barrera could sing. She sings her ass off in this film. And she gets cancer. She's very sick.
Mm.
She gets surgery, and her playwright boyfriend, who was madly in love with her, she was dating for 5 years, wrote a play with her, and was made a role specifically for her, breaks up with her after she has surgery and needs someone to help her and tells her, "I'm not a caretaker. I can't do this for you."
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
Absolutely not.
So obviously, as anyone would be, she's broken. Like
Yes.
her boyfriend of long time, who she thought fiance, I should say. Sorry, not boyfriend, fiance leaves her when her biggest time of need. Um, she is dealing with cancer. She can't live. He kicks her out of their shared apartment, so now she has to move back home, and her mom is never home. Her mom is a travel person, so she just pays rent, travel all the time, stops. So she's home depressed by herself. Her best friend, who says she's gonna be there all the time, is not. So she's by herself, eating her feelings sad for herself. And then one night she hears something go bump in her closet, and it's a monster that looks like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And that's where the movie kind of takes off. Their chemistry is great. They do not like each other in the beginning. The guy who plays the monster is hilarious to me. Very, very charming. Melissa Barrera, this is probably her best performance that she has done so far. She's asked to do a lot emotionally,
Mhm.
and she nails it during like comedic timing, the singing, the performance, the dramatic parts, the feeling of rage, sadness, and all the different stages of grief she goes through, the feeling of feeling sick. She just does a really good job in this movie. And I noticed that I'm like watching reviews for this movie and people are not getting what's happening. Um in terms of like the supernatural element of the monster. People are not understanding what's happening in the film, and that's unfortunate because I think that if you don't understand what's happening with it, the ending doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And that's where like a lot of negative reviews are coming. But I love this movie. I love it a lot. I had so much fun. It's kind of a coming of age story. It's a rom-com. It has the musical aspect, which is not too much, but just enough where it adds a little flair to it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just had a really, really good time with this movie. It's something that I would rewatch multiple times. And we
Okay.
talked about rewatch factor, right? Like
Yep.
if a movie is not the most grandest thing in the world, it's not Oppenheimer or Dune, but I can see myself watching this again before I watch Oppenheimer or Dune, you
Right.
know? So,
Yeah.
for
That's
me,
high
yeah,
praise.
I would and this is gonna be on rental, I think, very soon. I just saw through the people that I always see. I'm gonna put this about like right. I'm gonna put a full price. I didn't see Piece by Piece. I didn't see Wolves. I'm pretty sure it's better than Wolves. Because I didn't see Piece by Piece, I'll put it right here.
Okay.
I think it was worth the full price. I had a good time. I went to Regal Mystery Movie, so I didn't even know this was the movie. I think like
Ah,
Christmas music started playing, and I was like, "Oh God!" And then I
you
saw Melissa McBride. I was
thought you were in
like,
a Hallmark movie?
yeah, I thought it was one of Lindsay Lohan's new like Christmas movies that's coming out in the next couple weeks. And I was like, "Oh no, no, no!"
Lindsay stayed booking busy with a Hallmark joint.
Yeah, that's what she be doing. But yeah, I love this. I loved it. What is the people in the chat saying? Kal-El's out here talking to everybody. Corny but fly at the same time. I guess that you're talking about the sun thing.
Yeah,
He's bigging y'all up.
definitely
He said,
was.
"Cece, you're not into horror." She said, "I'm very much into horror. I'm not a musical girl. Only like rom-coms. If the com is heavy, do you think I'll like it?" Yeah, Cece, I do think you will like. It's fun, so I think you'll like it, and you like fun movies. And there's a feminist angle to it that I really like that you might be able to relate to in terms of like feminine rage, in terms of like when women feel rage. Um, and the whole like you're not supposed to. I think that's like what the Beast kind of helped her with throughout the film. She's fine. Surprised you didn't know that was she was more known for to the point when she got screen role, people were pissed saying musical can't act. Kal, I love you, man, but sometimes you type your thoughts and I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know what you just said just now. Oh man, but yeah, musical is harder to see for movie lovers. It is. It
Yeah.
is. A lot of these musicals have not been doing good. Let me rush the next one because the next one's also something that I only saw. It is The Apprentice. Oh, perfect. I searched The Apprentice so many times. I put in T, and it's the first thing that came up. Um, a young Donald Trump, eager to make his name as hungry second son of a wealthy family man in 1970 New York, comes under the spell of cutthroat lawyer Roy Cohn. Cohn sees Trump as the perfect protege, someone with raw ambition, a hunger for success, and the willingness to do whatever it takes to win.
Mm.
Yeah, this is my number 29th movie of the year. This was a surprise. I went in with this going, okay, I'm interested to see because Sebastian Stan is Trump. I like Sebastian Stan when he does stuff outside of the MCU. And yeah, he nailed it. If this movie was about anyone else but Trump, he would be getting an Oscar nomination for this role.
Oh wow.
I do think they're gonna avoid doing it because it's Trump.
Yeah.
Um, but he like I thought he was gonna be a caricature of of him, but he humanizes him. And he doesn't sound like he doesn't his voice doesn't sound like Trump, but the mannerisms, the speech patterns, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he carries himself is Trump, right? Like he
Mhm.
acts just like him. And Jeremy Strong's Roy Cohn is amazing. He's hilarious, and their chemistry is great. When those two are like together, the movie shines, right? And it does a really good job of showing you like where Trump kind of started as an adult and how he's not this character that we see on TV and how he got there. Like we see right when that character develops. That's where like the movie ends. And the journey of him where they humanize him in a way where you understand him, but like not in a way where like, oh, he's not that bad of a person, or oh, like I feel bad for him. Well, some aspects with his father, I felt bad for him, but like humanize him where like he doesn't feel like this mythical like bigot. He's just a man that wants what everyone wants and is molded by terrible people to turn into this thing that we see now. So like I said, Roy Cohn did a great job. Maria Bakalova, who was in Bodies, 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 and she was in Guardians Volume 3 as the dog, um, does a great job here as his first wife. And this movie opened up a topic for me of like maybe movies should have an advisory warning in the beginning of movies in terms of when certain things are happening, because there's like a scene in here that was very uncomfortable for me to sit through, and I could feel it in the theater too. Like I knew it wasn't just me because the movie is like plays everything so light up until that point, and then when it happens, you can feel everybody get whoa, 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 like
Hmm.
what's going on? And I felt very uncomfortable, and I was like, maybe they should start putting like there are going to be things in this movie that makes you uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
I think overall it's a great movie. I think that even if you Trump supporter, non-Trump supporter, you should go check it out when you get a chance. And I think it captured the time period really well too. Um, for me, I think this movie is a full price film.
Hmm.
Um, I I put it above Cottle Lake. Put it above Cottle Lake for me. I just think that it is a little bit more like while Cottle Lake is very, very interesting, I just think it executed things a little bit greater for me.
Okay.
Is the next movie we both saw? No, another movie that I only saw. Do you do the synopsis for Conclave?
Yeah. Yeah. The next two only you saw.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah,
And then the rest
got it.
of
I
them
got it. I got the conclave jazz.
synopsis, CISO.
Yep.
And while you
Yep.
do that, let me see if there's any comments I want to read. Uh,
Conclave.
I love musicals. Lindsay Lohan just caught a stray. My bad, Lindsay. I'll watch this movie after the election, but I will not support anything right now with Trump. That makes sense. Basically, she's been a musical girl and got hateful when she crossed over. Oh, okay. I did not know that. The first time I saw it was Scream. I did not know she was a musical kid. I saw Conclave. It's my number one movie of the year. Wow.
Wow. So synopsis for conclave is as follows. Cardinal Lawrence is tasked with one of the world's most secretive and ancient events, participating in the selection of a new pope. Surrounded by powerful religious leaders in the halls of the Vatican, he soon uncovers a trail of deep secrets that could shake the very foundation of the Roman Catholic Church.
Church.
That is,
Y Yeah, this is probably one of the most surprising films of the year I had. I went into it, leading into it, maybe the day 2 before I got some hype for it, but leading I was like, "I don't even think I'm gonna go see this movie." Doesn't
mhm,
look like something I'm gonna be interested in, a bunch of old white people arguing with each other about Catholicism or whatever how you say that,
Catholicism.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't have any interest in it, and then someone, like, described it to me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, maybe it's like a political thriller, okay." And there's, like, some juiciness to it, and they were right. This movie is juicy. It's spicy.
Mm,
There's a lot of drama going on, and it's
okay.
a really big reflection of, like, the what's going on with the US right
Hmm.
now. I think that they do a really good job of not focusing on too many characters so that it doesn't feel like you're getting lost and there's too many perspectives. They focus on a central few that are very charismatic and give great performances. We I don't know anything about Catholic situations or the setup or like
Hmm.
how progressive or non-progressive they are. And if what they showed here is true, it made me very interested because they had like people from Africa representing and people from Mexico representing and people from Italy and all these different things that they're like being progressive and arguing, debating about. And they had one guy that wants to take the 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 Catholic Church back 60 years because he wants things to be traditional values. And then there's somebody
Mm.
that wants to progress it even more, which makes people uncomfortable. And then the main character himself, he doesn't want any of it. He wants to leave.
Oh, okay.
And right before the Pope that dies, and the reason why they're trying to get the Pope die is he was trying to resign. And the Pope was like, "No, you can't resign." He's like, just not accepted resignation. He's, "I'm gonna need you here," and it's like he knew he was gonna pass away.
Hmm.
And he was completely, utterly right that he did need him there because he's like the dean, so he manages everything when we're choosing the next Pope. And it's just they found a way to build the intensity without any action, and every time a secret was revealed, the way things would shift because, like, you have to get, like, I think 75 votes in order to become the new pope, so, like, they kept going through these trials of showing the voting, and one person kept being in the lead, and then something will be revealed, and you'll see the lead change, and you're like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" So, like, it's the way it's positioned is really, really done well, and the ending, I was like, "What the bleep?" Was what? I'm still processing to this day how I fully feel. Like the ending was so good. It's one of those endings where like you want the movie to continue so you can see the result of the ending. Yeah, so I think it's a great movie overall. I think it's not one of like as you see, it's number 41. It's not in my top 10, top 20 films of the
Mhm.
year because I do feel like there's certain segments of it that felt a little dry. But for the most part, it was going.
Well, 41 is pretty high.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
110.
for our list. Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's a full price. I don't. Where did I have the damn Trump movie? 29. Yeah, so
Mhm.
yeah, it's right behind that.
Nice.
Is it better than Cottle Lake? I think it's better than Cottle Lake. I don't know if you would think it's better than Cottle Lake. So I'll put it right here. I think that's fair.
Okay.
But I think it's something that you would be very interested in checking out.
Nice.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm
So,
actually looking at
man,
showtimes right now for tomorrow.
nice. I sold it. Yes. You said I saw Conclave. It's my number one movie of the year. Nice. Zach, bigging up the Trump joint. Look, once again, it's not like it's a celebration of the man. It talks about all his faults and all the things that he went through. And he does it, he hates this movie. So, you know. Abigail's my top movie of the year. Nice. But I also know you haven't watched a bunch of movies from this year. So but Abigail's fun. I had a really good time with that. And another
Mhm.
Melissa performance that I liked. Yeah, Zach, how I felt. What the F? Yeah. The ending is a big what the hell. The next movie, like you said, is another movie that I only saw. I'm gonna run through it really quick because I don't really have too much to say about it. It's
Mhm.
called History Daughters. Um, Let me pull that up. So this came out on Netflix, I think right before this month started, but I saw it this month. It's three distant sisters reunite in NYC to take care of their sick father. Tensions rise as they confront past issues, aiming to heal family bonds and amid laughter and tears. This is starring Elizabeth Olsen, Carrie Coon, Natasha Lyonne, and Jovan Adepo. I don't know how to say his last name, but I know who he is because I've seen him in things. Yeah, this was a great movie. It starts out kind of slow. Wasn't sure where it was going, but basically one of the sisters lived with the father the whole time. The other two sisters are far away. He is sick, and it's a situation where like he's going to die. Like they know for sure he's going to die. They want him to die at home. They have someone coming to assist it being the most the easiest death it can be. Like
Yeah.
so it's not a lot of pain and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and to make sure that like he can like okay, he probably has this much amount of time left, so they know don't leave, right? Or like you
Right.
can leave, come back. And as they're waiting for this to happen, they start tackling the problems that they have with one another. They're very different sisters. One is a chill gamble like sports gambler that smokes weed and vapes and has a foul mouth. The other one is like a businesswoman who's very uptight and strict and um, wants to be the fun one, but feels like she can't be because she has to be the one that takes care of everyone.
Mhm.
And then the other one is the one that never sees the negative in things. She's always happy. She's so bubbly and to the point where it can get annoying,
Mhm.
and you just see all their dynamics and how it progresses and how things are revealed. And one of them has a different mom, and that dynamic kind of makes things different because the two of them that had the same mom died, and the new mom came in, and then that mom died, and then they kind of didn't treat her the same way when the first mom died. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and it's three Oscar-worthy performances from the three leads. I'll say. I think all three of them did an amazing job in this film. They had amazing chemistry. I was locked in. I will say that though, like up until something that happened in the third act, I was like, it's like a solid 3 out of 5. This is solid.
Mhm.
And then something happens where we're like, oh, I really like what you did here, and it bumped it up to a 4. And then
Okay.
the way I was like, all right, I'm in. So it's on Netflix. I say go check it out. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it debuted straight on Netflix. It was at like festivals and stuff like that, but it didn't get a theatrical debut. Netflix picked it up at the festivals. I do think that the filmmaking is really good. The cinematography looks great. The score is not too outstanding, but because of the nature of the film, I would say is definitely even though I think it's a streaming film, I think it's a really really great film. So I'm gonna put it right here.
Uh, okay.
You will probably think it's better than It's What's Inside, and I don't know well, it's probably better than Saturday Night based on what you're saying,
Mhm.
and maybe Sugar Hill. So I'll put it right here
Yeah, for
behind
sure.
that.
So okay, so it's a four. It has three Oscar-worthy performances, but you're putting it in streaming.
Yeah, because I don't think there is. I don't know if there's a see, like a theatrical element to it. Like I don't think there's something that's great with a score that's gonna suck you in. I don't think the cinematography is so great. I don't know if there's something where you feel it's worth it to go see three people talk for 2 hours in the theater. So that's why I'm like, it's yeah, I could see that. I could probably bump it up to a matinee,
Okay.
um, because of the performances.
Hmm.
And it's probably better than these two.
Okay.
So I'll bump it up. You just
Yeah.
convinced me. You
Mhm.
didn't have to say much. You didn't have to say much, but you convinced me. Yeah, I've only seen 3 movies from this year. Descendants, The Rise of the Dead. Okay, that's our number 1. The First Omen, that's a good movie. Beetlejuice, and the other movies I've seen this year. Damn,
Okay.
you haven't seen you watching old movies, huh?
Nice.
This movie is the only movie I've seen twice this year because the first time I watched it on my own, and the second time I watched it with Kenny.
Yep.
Let me get the synopsis for Mads. I have a review for this movie on my channel. One of my most successful reviews, honestly. A teenager who stops off to see his dealer to test a new drug before heading off for a night of partying. On the way home, he picks up an injured woman, and the night takes a surreal turn. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's like the least
Yeah.
of it.
Hmm.
Talk
Uh,
about Mads, man. Why is your number 15 of the year?
Mads is incredible. Mads, like, so from a filmmaking perspective, the movie is a one shot. Like it's all one shot. I mean, obviously they use camera tricks to do different shots and stuff like that, but
Yep.
it just follows a character until that character pretty much in a way hands it off to another character and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
And I thought that was done so well because it kept me engaged the entire time. The movie, the acting performances are incredible in this movie. Specifically, I think she's the third handoff. The second or third,
Second handoff.
the second
Second
handoff.
handoff. I
That
know who you're talking
actor
about. Yeah.
from the second handoff was incredible. I don't think people who act in horror movies get nearly enough credit for their performances. She deserves something for her performance. She was incredible in this film.
That's something.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
give her something. A nomination or something. But yeah, so I was engaged. I was scared at certain times. There was a lot of tension, and I think the thing that the movie does really well is that it doesn't over explain itself. It allows you to feel everything
Mm,
that's going on. It allows you to feel the what the hell is going on in this that the characters also feel. And I think that it's a very interesting take on this genre of horror movies. I don't even know if we should say like what genre it is. Um,
yeah, because I really want you guys to see this, so I don't really wanna
yeah,
spoil what happens. It's
yeah.
it's it's like a beginning of apocalypse movie, we could say that.
Yeah, we can say that, and I like the way that they handled it. Some of the people who are impacted by the apocalypsation, which is not a word. I think that the way that they did that differently than I've seen it in other films was really interesting because you could totally tell that these people were more conscious than what you would normally see in these types of
Mm.
movies. And I thought that that was really interesting to see. So yeah, overall, it's number 15 for a reason. I had a really good time with this movie.
Yeah, I love like post-apocalyptic or like the beginning of apocalypse kind of films. And
Hmm.
the specific what this movie does is like one of my favorite genres. I don't want to say what it is. If you know me, you know what I'm saying, and I just spoiled it. But if you don't, then I didn't. But I was blown away by this. It's rare for me to be able to watch a movie back to back. And I watched it again with you, and I had a better time with it the
The
second
second
time
time, yeah,
because I was
I
able
can
to
see that.
pick up on stuff that I didn't pick up the first time. Like little things like when the dad hung up, he was laughing, and I was like, "Oh," like, and
Hmm.
you know what laughing means in this movie. And what you said, and I stole it and used it in my review. You said the one take is not just a gimmick; elevates the movie because it forces you to be in the perspective of these characters the whole way through,
Yep.
and you feel like you feel the tension, and it creates the fear because since it's not panning around and doing all this stuff, you're always scared about what's going to happen next.
Yep.
Like, what is happening? Where's this thing at? Like, you saw this person here, and you know they're a dangerous person, but
Hmm.
because you're forced to be in this perspective the whole time, you're like, where they could feel like they could pop up at any time.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of environmental storytelling that you have to like be tuned into.
Hmm.
um, and I feel like the one take was almost seamless. Like, I
Yeah.
think there was, like, one spot where I like, "Okay, I could tell what that was where you guys," but other than that,
It honestly felt like after a while, I kind of didn't notice it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't like, I was so engaged in it, I forgot that it was just it never cut away.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like you said, the I think all 3 main performances in the film are great,
Yeah.
right? In different ways. I think the main first guy, I think he did a really good job of showing, like, that paranoia.
Hmm.
And then the second girl was phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap, she was phenomenal. I didn't see. I said in my review, somebody in America come pick her up and teach her English and let her. She might
Like
know it
real
already.
thing.
Let's get
Yep.
her over here. And the third girl was really, really good too.
Same. Yep.
Um,
I agree.
yeah, the action is great. The use of lighting is
Yeah.
really, really good. Um, yeah, if you like post-apocalyptic movies, if you like seeing the beginning of one, we've never seen the beginning of apocalypse like this. We're
Yeah.
usually either thrown in when it already started, or like we'll see the beginning a little bit and it'll jump ahead,
Yep.
and then like you never saw the in between. We're seeing the whole like a whole night of how the apocalypse started. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of the
Like
year.
even the way that the first character gets introduced to the issue that they run into is so seemingly like it's so random that it's like, man, this is really like this could have happened to anybody. And I
Yeah.
think that that aspect of it makes it feel even more like horrifying in a lot of ways.
And I want to piggyback off that point is that the reason why it happened to him was because he was being a good person too. Like,
Mhm.
none of these people usually in these kind of movies, things happen because you're a terrible person,
Yeah.
or like you're a decent human being, but you kind of have bad things about you. Like, he
Hmm.
was doing a good thing, and then stuff started happening to him.
Yep. Yeah. It
And
went
yeah,
crazy.
I highly recommend this. This is going to be a movie that goes under the radar because it's foreign and it's Shutter. And that's not the biggest streaming platform, but I if you have Prime Video or Apple TV, I know that you can get like try Shutter out for free
Yep.
for like a week or a month. I would do
Mhm.
that and go watch like VHS Beyond, go watch Mads, go watch Daddy's Head, go watch Ezreal. That's 4 Shutter movies right there that we've talked about that we've all really enjoyed. Well, obviously you didn't see Daddy's Head and VHS Beyond, but like you saw Ezreal, you enjoyed it,
Yep.
and you saw Mads and you really enjoyed it. So I
Mhm.
would highly recommend this one. This is the best of the Shutter bunch that we saw.
Yeah.
Um, and damn, in terms of rating it, man, I wish I saw this in the theater.
Same. I
This
would
is
give it like
absolutely a full
full
price.
price.
Yeah. Now
I would put it probably
we're
ahead of everything.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yep.
Let's see what the people got to say, and then we'll move on because we only got a few movies left. And I've decided I don't want these streams to go too long.
Hmm.
Let's see. After Zach's Maz review, I really want to check it out. It needs that digital purchase option to come soon. Yeah, they do need to put it for rental. I don't. It might be. I have to go check. I put that one. I put that one at the first movie because it was the one I watched the most this year. Okay, nice. You
Okay.
watched it multiple times.
Makes sense.
Is it on a streaming platform? Yes, Shutter. It's on Shutter. But like I was saying before, you can get a free trial of Shutter on Prime Video and Apple TV.
Hmm.
Are you asking me about some movies that I put on? Okay, they're having a conversation. Hey, Zach, Kenny, are you guys still going to do watch along for Gladiator? If all right with you, it'd be okay if I joined. We're not going to be doing like a YouTube watch along. We're probably going to just watch that like on a personal, me and him chilling
Yeah.
kind of thing, and then
Hmm.
I might review it. Because the movie that I put in my favorite is number one is Disney Plus original. It's the fourth in the series. Yeah, I've heard of the Descendants franchise. I just haven't seen it.
Nice.
I'm definitely checking this movie out. I have AMC Plus, so you know if you have AMC Plus, you have. Oh, do you have AMC Plus? You use AMC, right?
No, I think that's the AMC channel.
Oh, AMC,
Yeah,
not
I got
Stub.
hyped for a second. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is all on Shutter. No wonder I haven't heard of these films. Yeah. Also, I'm back in time. Yeah, you're back in time. Yeah, man. Shutter has some really good horror films. It's just
Hmm.
it's a small service.
Yeah.
Eventually their films move on to Prime Video. So be on the lookout for that.
Hmm.
Next up is another horror film, and to me, one of the best horror films of the year, and that's Smile 2. You want to talk about the synopsis for this one?
Yeah, I can pull it up. Smile to.
I think this is the closest we've had movies in terms of like ranking, like 20 and 28. It's only 8 spots
Oh, look
difference.
at that. Yeah, I was actually thinking about moving it up today, but I got to look at the list a little bit harder.
As you should. As you should.
Yeah, it's definitely better. Yeah, it's moving up. Um, but yeah, so about to embark on a new world tour, global pop sensation Sky Riley begins to experience increasingly terrifying and inexplicable events. Overwhelmed by the escalating horrors and pressures of fame, she must face her dark past to regain control of her life before it spirals out of control.
It's a pretty good synopsis.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect synopsis. Oh, the budget was only 28 million.
Yeah. They did
Okay,
a really good job of keeping and it doesn't look like a $28 million film.
no, it looks more expensive actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Talk
yeah,
to me.
Smile Two was. So let me just start with this. I saw Smile in the theater a couple years ago, whenever it came out, maybe 2 years ago. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was
Me too.
pretty good. It wasn't the best movie I had seen that year. It wasn't even probably not even the best horror movie I saw the year. I thought it was good. And when they announced Smile 2, I was kind of like, I don't think it needs a sequel. But then it got a sequel, and the sequel is way better than the first one. I think the sequel is leaps and bounds better than the first one. And I think the tension that it builds through all of the I was going to say illusions, through all of the hallucinations and all the things that Skyray goes through, how the things that she's going through impacts her relationship with other characters like her mother specifically, having such a different desire for Sky than Sky had for herself, and what Sky was
Mhm.
going through didn't align with the mother wanted. So what the mother wanted, like, made what she was going through worse. The attention to detail with her drinking water constantly, like all of that kind of like really added to the film. And not only that, but they used her pop star status in a very efficient way as well. A lot of the ancillary, like a lot of the pressures of being a pop star, people who we don't typically feel bad for because they are rich or whatever. Like, I
Yeah.
felt for Sky in this situation,
Yeah.
and not only that, we also have the backstory behind Sky and how she got to where she was, her character going through some sort of recovery, and all the things that make like I was saying similarly with I believe it was Cattle Lake or something else. Nothing feels wasted. Like, everything
Yeah.
feels important in this movie. And I think my only gripe, if I even want to call it that, it's not even a gripe. It's kind of like a that was interesting. Was the ending. Like, the ending was
Mhm.
like, I can see people feeling like, why did you take me through all this if it's just this? Like, you could have just took me to this and that would have been done, because that seems like the more linear thing to do. But I enjoy the detour a little bit, even though there were times I kind of felt like, man, that felt really important, but it wasn't at all. So there's a lot of different feelings and emotions that you can have about the movie towards the end. But yeah, oh, they handled like awkward situations beautifully. Like, oh my god,
Like what the awkward situations that celebrities go through? Yes.
yeah, like the photo op, like where she volunteered to take the pictures with the kids, and the grown
Yeah.
man walks in and blah blah blah, and how they bring that up later on in the man, man. So yeah, I
Oh my
really
god,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, or even just like when you're as a superstar, you're forced to talk at some event even though you're not in the headspace to do it because you have to do it because of this exact like,
yo,
this movie is not going to get credit for how well written it is
yeah,
in terms of, like, how it executed all the ideas of, like,
mhm,
the making the things that pop stars go through and adding that fear and putting
yeah,
them in their shoes and how bad it would be normally, but then you
mhm,
add this crazy entity on it where, like, no one knows the rules of the
right,
entity. Like,
right,
it never feels like he can just do anything he wants, but it also feels like he can do more than he did in the first
yeah,
one. I love the first one. I thought it was a great film. Like you said, I think this is much better.
hmm,
I think everything that was great about the first film, they do it here and better. And
yeah,
everything that was not great about the first film, they've improved. It's not like much better, but it's
mhm,
improved. So if like you had problems with Smile One, things that you didn't like about Smile One are probably improved in Smile Two.
yeah. It also looks better from a
It's
production standpoint.
it looks better from a production standpoint. It's they get to do more stuff because she's a
Mhm,
pop star. So like versus like what Sophie Bacon's character in the first one, she had this kind of bland, dry apartment. She has this extravagant apartment. The
mhm.
cinematography is great. The music. First of all, I didn't know Naomi Scott could sing. I didn't watch
Neither
Aladdin.
do I.
So
Yeah,
she did a great job. Honestly, I would have loved Sky Riley to go on tour with the girl from Trap. That would have been a banger.
Raven, Lady Raven.
And by the way, Lady Raven tagged Naomi Scott on Instagram and said, "Let's do a collab." And I'm like, "Yo, let's do this." I would love for like a movie characters
That
to
would be
song
pretty
together.
cool. Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Um, the movie was scary. The jump scares got me. The movie is funny.
Yep.
Naomi Scott, to me, this might be my top 2 favorite performances of the year, top 5 favorite performances of the year. She was phenomenal. She was asked to do
Yeah.
so much in this movie, emotionally, physically,
Mhm.
like, she committed so hard.
She
There
did
was
a
so many little
lot
things
in this film.
a
A
lot,
lot.
and there was so many little things that she did that just like there's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. So her drug dealer smashes his face in front of her. We saw this in the trailer. It wasn't a
Mhm.
spoiler. And even the way she backs away from
Yeah.
him, the execution of it, everything that she did physically was so good. And like how she felt like this confident pop star, but also you could see the humanity in there, and like she kind of just wanted to be a regular human at the same time.
Mhm.
I could go on and on. I really enjoyed this movie.
What got me with her performance was 2 things, right? One, I really noticed her performance, like, she was good the entire film, but I really noticed the performance when her character in the present was juxtaposed with her character in the flashbacks, because they're totally,
Mm,
I don't want to say they're totally different, but they're in totally different parts of their lives. So
yeah,
she feels like both of them, of course, but juxtaposing, like, you had to act out those scenes too. Like, that was a whole nother, like,
yep,
part of the thing that's not your character now; it's your character before. And I thought that that was done really well. And the other one was essentially the crash out, like when she's in
yeah.
the hospital and she starts crashing out, like that was another scene and sequence that was just incredible. So yeah, I think that, like, horror films deserve a lot more. One of the things, and I'll keep this short, one of the things I always scratch my head about with horror films not being nominated is 2 things: production design and makeup. Makeup production
Yes,
design. I'm sorry, makeup production design and sound design. Those are the 3
yeah,
main pillars of a horror film, and they always, not always, do it well. But the good horror movies
best ones.
typically do
Yeah,
it better than any other genre, and they rarely get nominated for it.
yeah. Or now I don't remember the last time I saw a horror movie get nominated for, production stuff. Like, how like, if The Substance doesn't get nominated for hair and makeup and
Right.
styling, what are we doing?
last year, Evil Dead Rise. So much that it should have been nominated.
Yeah, the lead
Yeah,
actress that was the villain in that one,
absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah.
It just they look down on horror, and it makes me very, very upset because I'm not saying that they should dominate every category because obviously there's other genres that deserve highlighting, but they
Mhm.
gotta figure it out. Like Toni Collette not getting for Hereditary still stings me to
That's
this day.
crazy. That's
Mia
so
Goth not to
crazy to
get
me.
for Pearl
Yeah.
stings me every day. If Demi Moore doesn't get in for the Substance, I'm riding. Like I
Mhm.
and honestly, like I love Naomi Scott, and people are saying she should get nominated, but I think because I feel like Demi Moore's movie has more like, for not as a pun, but the substance to it.
Yeah. Mhm.
I can see it as a more of a push for her to get in
Yeah.
versus her, but if Naomi Scott got in somehow, I don't think she is. I will be jumping for joy. She was so good.
Mhm.
Oh, and the last thing about this is after we're done gushing over this movie, this is the probably one of the best opening sequences of the year.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
That
for
was
sure.
like,
Like
what
that's a
the
cold open for your ass. Like
yeah,
that was great.
yes. It's like, oh my god.
Hmm.
Yeah. Finn Parker or Parker Finn, whichever his name is. I just realized during my review, I said his name backwards. Like I kept saying it different every time. I either
That's
said Finn
hilarious.
Parker or Parker Finn. It's hilarious. But yeah, I'm locked in. If you want to do a prequel to this where we see the first person to get infected, if you want to do a sequel to this where we see the results of that crazy ending, I am here.
That's probably the smartest thing that they did with that ending is that they made it so you can tell unlimited stories going forward.
Yeah, going forward. Yeah. So, where are we gonna rank Smile to?
I'm man. I mean, full price is kind of like I'll put it at IMAX to be honest with you, but like full price,
Me too.
which is weird because I have Mads that I liked more than it, which I'm not sure if that's the case actually. Um,
I do think I like Bads more, but yeah, but in terms of the way it looks,
yeah. Oh,
like
everything
if I
about the
was,
film is incredible.
yeah, like the IMAX speakers, I'm thinking like visually how it looks, and if you're in
Yeah.
IMAX, like obviously this movie's not gonna get IMAX. Horror movies don't really get them, but I'm
No,
like thinking like the sound wise, visual wise, it will look amazing on an IMAX screen.
absolutely.
All right, let's see what the people has to say. You guys voted on how you guys feel about Smile, and I know Cece's in here because she loved that movie too, even though she was confused by the ending like that. Let's see what you guys got to say. EMC IFC shows a lot of classics. I haven't seen the first Smile. Definitely check it out.
For sure.
Might be a tragedy. She's singing the song. Me and her have been listening to the soundtrack ever since the movie came out.
Oh, nice.
I marked skip because I haven't seen it. Naomi Scott had no business being that fire. That's a fact. That came out of nowhere for
Absolutely.
me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sometimes actors just need that right director and story
Mhm.
to show that they can do it.
Yeah. That
Even
is
though I
it a
hate
lot
the
of the
ending.
time.
Yeah. I saw Smile for the first time last year. I enjoyed it. I actually thought about rewatching it. Yeah, it's a rewatchable movie.
I agree.
Also want to say we're giving Naomi Scott a lot of credit. I need to give Sophie Bacon, Kevin Bacon's daughter, a lot of credit. I never saw her before. I think she did a really great job in that first movie.
Who was that? Who was she in the
Sophie
first one?
Bacon. She's the main character.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Kevin Bacon's daughter.
I did not know that.
Yeah, agree. This is a top power performance in a performance period. Last time I felt this way was Evil Dead Rise.
Hmm.
See, on our wavelength.
Yep.
Different roles, of course, but that impact. Yeah,
Same.
yeah.
Yeah.
My last movie that I know that was hard, I was nominated was Silence of the Lambs. Feel
I
like there's
feel like
probably
there's been
in
more.
between that.
Yeah.
It gotta be
Yeah.
because that is shame.
Now I'm curious because I'm
Yeah, look
clear.
that up.
Yeah.
For it to get nominated also depends on the review and the critic score. Well, The Substance has high critic and audience scores across the board, and it's grossing a lot of money. So they really don't have an excuse. It's not like the audience didn't like it. It's not like the critics didn't like it. It's not like it didn't make any
Oh
money.
yeah, Get Out was nominated.
Oh yeah, Get Out was nominated. Yes, duh. I think
The
Lupita
Sixth
for
Sense was
Us.
nominated, if you want to call that a horror. The Parasite won Best Picture.
Parasites, is that a horror movie?
It's horrifying.
Oh yeah, that's true. The scene. Oh, you seen Parasite, right?
Yeah,
Oh, the scene where he peeks above the stairs was one of the scariest shit that ever
boy,
happened to me in my life.
man,
My heart sunk.
when they came upstairs, let me tell you,
That shit.
because
Yeah.
it felt like a different movie at that point.
Yeah.
The movie
Yeah.
changed entirely, and not in a bad way.
Yeah. Good way.
Yeah, Quiet Place was nominated. There's a ton of movies that were nominated for.
Hard I got in. I
Yeah,
do think Lupita should have got nominated for Best Actress for Us.
I agree, 100%. She was phenomenal as both hers.
Both
Like,
characters.
yeah,
Yeah.
she carried that movie. Yeah, I don't like that movie as much as I would like to, but she carried the hell out of that movie. She was really great in that.
Yeah. And for the Oscars, there's like over 600 people who vote for movies to get nominated for the Oscars, and for the Golden Globes, it's only like 10 people. Wow.
Mm,
Well, the Oscars are more highly touted, so I'm not shocked.
yeah,
Okay, coming up next is a movie that we also both saw, Joker 2, Folie
Folie
à Deux.
à Deux. Mm,
I don't think we need to do a synopsis of this film. Everyone knows what the hell this movie is about. It is
yeah,
about Joker trying to face his crimes for what he did in the first film, and he
hmm,
runs into Harleen Quinzel, aka Lee, played by Lady Gaga.
yeah.
It's a drama, it's a musical, it's a character study, and
Mm.
yeah.
I agree with CC's comment. Um,
Oh
immediately,
God. She said immediate.
immediately. Yeah, so I have it at 69 and you have it at 60. Um, this movie is awful. And it's not awful from a production standpoint. It's good. Let's get this out of the way. All the technical
Yeah.
aspects of filmmaking, it's good at. This story is shit. Like this story is so bad. And I think a lot of the reasons why I don't like this story is because it doesn't tell you anything new about Arthur. You don't find out anything about Arthur that you didn't know before, and it's trying a case that I didn't realize this until I watched somebody else's review. Was 5 years ago. Was 5 years before the case was actually like the crimes that he committed. The case was 5 years later, or the trial was 5 years later, which is absolutely insane. I know people get held up in court, but that seems a little like excessive for that case. That's neither here nor there. But like for me, a lot of the film's issues comes from conveniences that just don't really make much sense. For example, the way Lee or Harley Quinzel actually meets the Joker, it doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever. The way that they come face to face, so many things have to go right in order for that to happen. It would have made a lot more sense if she would have put that in motion because she had the resources to do that monetarily with the guards from Arkham. But instead, she just plopped herself into a room and was like, "You might show up one day." Like that makes zero sense. Also, I thought that the ending of the trial, the way the trial ended, so to speak, and the resolution of the character towards the end of the film was just asinine. It felt like a completely different movie when the courtroom changed its physical structure in ways, and when Arthur uh, reaches the conclusion of the film, I felt like it would have been handled better if Harley Quinn was the person who um, was responsible for like how his character wrapped up. So yeah, I just like the entire film felt like a waste of time. The musical aspects of it, I don't think I'm one of the rare people who like I didn't mind it. I was looking at the performances, the singing and stuff like that, and I thought it was really good when they went to the dream sequences. When they were singing together, just like standing next to each other in like the real world, so to speak. It was just like I love the meme that people are putting out where Arthur is telling Harley to stop singing, please stop singing, just talk to me. I find those really funny. But yeah, I've talked a lot. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's so funny because I have it at 60, you have 69 giggity,
Mhm.
and so it's not that big a difference in our, like, ranking list,
Yeah.
but I like it a lot more than you do. Like, you think it's
Mhm.
trash, I don't think it's great, but I think it's really good.
Yeah.
A lot of the problems that you have with the film, I don't. A lot the singing aspect is really and then not as the opposite, like, the singing aspect is really what holds it back for me. I
Yeah.
think if they would remove those and took more to the plot and flesh some things out, I think this movie
Mhm.
would have been elevated and better to me. I didn't
Yeah.
have any issues with the way the plot was structured. I had an issue with the singing kinda stopping stuff from
Yeah.
happening. Um, I don't mind plot conveniences as long as they kinda make sense because, like, there is a small chance that she could be him. So, like, okay. But if it was, like, no chance, like, she plopped herself in a different jail and was hoping that he get transferred there, then I'm like, "Alright,
Yeah.
that's dumb." But since they were in the same building, I get it. Um, one thing you
Even
did
though he
say
was
was,
a
like,
five
how
time,
Huh?
even though he was a 5 time.
But I think the reason why it was a 5-year thing is because his lawyer was
No, no,
fighting that.
not a 5 year thing. He was a 5 time killer. Like even though he was a
No,
five
no, no.
time. Oh,
I
okay.
know. I'm saying
Yeah, yeah,
I'm saying, like, the reason why I think there's a 5-year gap is because his lawyer was trying to say that he was not, uh, suited to, go on trial, and that takes a long
mhm,
time. And I
yeah,
think that the whole, like, case of, like, he's not mentally there, and that's why he shouldn't be going to jail, makes sense, and technically, he's not Booker T 5 times, he's 6 times, he admitted to a 6.
he's technically 6 time. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Which is funny because like nobody
Um,
knew that until like he told everybody. But yeah,
yeah, I like the themes of, like, there's a lot of people who are serial killers who become these forces of nature and people get behind and they become cult of personality and
hmm,
they realize they're not that and they crumble under it and he was one of that. Like he is not the Joker. He is somebody that is mentally has an issue and a lot of times in real life we prop those people up like they did in here and then when they do the crime we're like, oh, what's wrong with you? It's
yep.
like, but you guys were just like, "Oh, so you
Hmm.
killed those guys on the train." And then he has all these people backing him. I like the court aspect. I thought that the performances in the court was some of the best stuff I've seen all year with Zazie Beetz coming back. Sorry, that's a spoiler, but whatever, it's been a while.
Yeah, I was
Um,
surprised that she. I don't know why I was surprised that she came back. I was happy that she came back because she was great in the.
yeah, and some of the conversations he had to end up having, especially with, the smaller person from the first
Mhm.
movie,
Yeah,
the incredible acting from him. Um,
with the puddles.
Puddles, yes.
Yeah,
That whole thing with him and
he
Puddles and the
was
way he was
great.
talking to
Oh
Puddles,
yeah,
he was so good.
that scene was awesome.
Um, I like the ending. I think that it's the execution that bothered me.
Hmm.
So, like, I like where they went. I think that from that scene you're talking about where the court changes, I was like, "Yeah, did this because it's a comic book movie and you felt like you needed."
Hmm.
Yeah, like, he did that in the first one, right? Like, the whole Bruce Wayne and Thomas Wayne and
Yeah,
the whole, like, towards the end of the movie, you see
the
the people
riot,
kill the
all that.
Waynes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, "Alright, you're doing this because it's a comic book movie, you need to have that in there." And I felt
yeah.
like he did that again here. I think that could have been done a little bit more, not as bombastic
Hmm.
and, more done like where Harley felt more involved. But I think Joaquin Phoenix slipped right back into the performance as Joker. I think that
Lady
Lady
Gaga,
Gaga did a good job
incredible.
as Lee. I think Brendan Gleeson was great as the guard.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, everybody was performing well. The movie looks great. It sounds good. A lot of aspects work. I just think that the execution of the musical aspect, I think I got the reason my review is position as Todd Phillip hates the Joker is because I really do think that he did not like the response to the first Joker.
Yeah.
And he didn't like what Joker represents. Even before his movie, what Joker represented. Joker has been a representation of some really weird people for a while now.
Yeah.
Since The Dark Knight happened. It
Since
kind of
not even a Dark Knight, since the animated series when people want to be Harley Quinn in that relationship with Joker, I'm like,
yeah.
did you see that relationship?
It's terrible. It
It's
should not
not
be
good.
fantasized.
She be getting
Um
abused.
yeah. And manipulated and gaslighted
Yeah.
and thrown in
Hmm.
to do things that she doesn't want to do. But
Hmm.
yeah, and I think he didn't like that response. So I think he didn't give those people the catharsis that
Hmm.
was in the first movie. And I really think he should have done it in the singing scenes. It should have been violent. It should have been bombastic. It should have been crazy. Like if this is gonna be a Joker musical, like the musical aspects should have been some of the best musical aspects you've seen in the film.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt tame.
Hmm.
The movie didn't feel like it had a $250 million budget, which is
It
insane
sure
for a film
did.
like this. Especially since the first one was 90 million. I'm like, bro, what the? How did you
Yeah.
get that? Okay.
Salaries.
Um, yeah, but I like the film. I think it's a good two-hander with the first Joker. I think I will watch it again eventually. Not anytime soon. It's not super rewatchable because of the because I think by the time the third singing happened, I was like, oh, here we go.
Hmm.
But I also don't like musicals, so that also doesn't help. That helps the situation. Like I don't really like musicals, so um, for me, this is a matinee, but you think it's a skip, right?
Yeah, I think it's a skip.
So can we settle on a streaming?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the chat voted 50% matinee, 50% skip. So I do think streaming is a
Streaming
good
makes sense. Yeah. My
spot.
life my life
Uh,
isn't gonna change if we put it in streaming.
yeah. Do you think it's better than Saturday night?
Um yes. And because
No.
I was never bored.
What about Sugar Hill?
Yeah, for sure.
And
And
okay, so we'll put it here because you think it's better than this.
yeah.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think this is better, but I think that's fair.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is a crazy movie. Let's get right into the last one of the night, and then we'll take questions for like 10 minutes, or 5 minutes or something like that. Is Venom, and you're the only one that saw Venom 3 because I'm not watching any Venom movies. So talk about Venom: The Last Dance.
Venom the Last Dance is the uh sorry, my dog was doing things. Venom the Last Dance
It's like Venom.
solidifies Venom as the worst comic book trilogy that's ever been created. The first movie isn't good. The second movie is worse, and this one happens to be worse than those two. So it just continued. So you started off from a negative, and you just kept going backwards. This movie, one of the main issues with this film is that Venom is he's present in the sense that like he's always with Eddie, but he's almost never fully on screen, right? So it's one of the things I haven't put out my review yet because I'm still editing it. But one of the things I said about this movie is that one, the other symbiotes in the movie are there more than he is, which is a problem. Number
Yeah.
two, this movie has a similar issue. I know people like Iron Man 3, but one of my biggest gripes with Iron Man 3 is that he's never in the suit. Like he's rarely
Mm.
in the suit, and when he is in the suit, it's just like little spatters, and it's like it feels like the way that the story is set up, the story beat of why he never turns into full Venom feels like they did it for budgetary reasons. Like, no, we can't have you
Mm.
walking around as Venom, and I'm just
Not
like,
good creative reasons. Yeah.
yeah. And there's a long, like 20-30 minute of film where I swear to you, it feels like nothing has happened. Like, how does this progress the plot, right? And it just like it's I was sitting here like, what? Why is this important? And you know it's bad because although the other characters in the movie are boring as hell, like the ancillary characters, I would
Yeah.
rather spend more time with them than Venom and Eddie Brock.
Wow.
Yeah, but I had to be honest. Like from the first one, I have never liked this portrayal of these characters because it's been
Mm,
juvenile the entire time. It's just it
yeah,
feels super childish. Not to mention, if I'm going like comic book brain and stuff like that, why is Eddie Brock 45, 40 something? Why is he not the
yeah,
same age as Peter? Even if he did meet Spider,
or a little older, a little
yeah,
older.
like it's just it doesn't make any sense. Cletus Cassidy in the second one is like Woody Harrelson age, and it's just like a
60
lot
year
of
old.
yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's like, and also the main villain Noel, he's trapped somewhere else, and it's like the same issue I had with Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, and a similar issue I had with Beetlejuice, even though I enjoyed that film because it made me laugh a lot. Where the most powerful and main antagonist is locked away somewhere while the minions or other situations kind of take the
Mm,
forefront, and then by the
yeah,
time you actually get to the main antagonist, it's done like that, right? And it's kind of like, well, why did you spend all this time propping up this villain for them to have little to no impact on the story, right? So
yeah.
I despise this film.
Just damn.
So, and that's why it's at 93 out of 96. The only movies I have it above are I Saw the TV Glow, um, Rebel Moon Part 2, and American Society of Magical Negroes. Because the other three are, once again, boring as hell. Yeah. So, yeah.
Damn, you have it below Madam Web.
I had so much fun watching Madam Web. I had
That's true.
fun enjoying how bad it was. I did not have fun enjoying how bad this was. Like Madam Web's badness was like this. I can't believe you guys are doing this kind of bad. And like I know you did not just do that. And oh no, what you did that? This movie is like why are we doing this? Like this is the third movie. Also, I've never seen a trilogy. I've never seen a franchise get a trilogy when the first movie's bad, and it just keeps going. Like it's crazy, and I know that's subjective, obviously, but yeah,
There's
I
people
did.
that love it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So,
crazy because we got 3 of these before we got 3 Doctor Stranges, we
hmm
got 3 Captain Marvels, 3 Ant-Mans, 3, another Black Widow movie,
hmm
like, there's so many before Henry Cavill got another suit.
that's crazy.
You
That's wild.
telling me that you rather make 3 Venoms than just give Henry Cavill another Superman movie.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah.
Um, I guess 'cause I didn't see the movie, but I'll explain why I'm not watching Venom movies. Growing up, Venom was like one of my first comic book characters I read, Lethal Protector,
Protective. Yeah.
when he became like an agent and started killing people, but lethally. A little bit like Punisher, a little bit, but Venom. And I was like, "Who's this character?" And that led me to Spider-Man, and Man is my favorite comic book
hmm
character. And I just grew to like love and read Venom. Like
Yeah.
that's my guy. And I know that the beginning of him needs to be with Spider-Man. Like
Right.
his character only makes sense with
hmm
those details. Then you can separate him and make him his own thing. But
Right.
starting him out without Spider-Man, that character just does not work
hmm
without him. And you can see it in these movies. Anytime I hear anything about this, it sounds directionless.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a direct because he has to have Spider-Man in his life. This
hmm
character does not work without him. Even if you eventually stop doing so, why does he? He doesn't even have the spider logo on his chest with the classic design
Yeah.
because there's no Spider-Man in this universe. So I just, Tom Hardy I like, but I was just like, that's not the Eddie Brock I want to see. And then it's like goofy, and I didn't
Yeah.
want to see goofy. I want to see R-rated extreme Venom. So like,
And I'll
I
tell
know
you
like a lot of people
this.
don't watch other comic book movies because of these reasons, and I'm like, no, just watch it, just try it out. Like I'm all proponent for that.
Mhm.
But this one was just like more of a really personal for me.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, nah. And then I heard the movie's bad. Like it wasn't
Right.
even like, oh, I don't want to watch these because of the comic book stuff. But everybody's like, dude, I know it's not comic accurate, but the shit is tough. It's fire,
Right.
right? Like that's how I am with Man of Steel. I'm like, I know these movies are not comic accurate, but I love it. It's so good. Gotta watch it. So like, but I never hear anything good about it. Like even the people that like it, it's like, yeah, it's bad, but it's fun. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to watch it. It's bad, but it's fun. But
Yeah.
the people have voted. 50% said matinee. 50% said skip. I have no dog in this fight because I never seen the movie.
Yay! Never
But
done
since so many people said matinee, which is crazy to me, that must be CC. I think we'll put it on streaming because you said skip.
hmm
And I'm gonna put it last because yeah,
See you,
it
buddy.
sounds awful.
Yeah.
It sounds absolutely awful. But yeah, that is all the movies that we've seen in October 2024. We're excited to get into November. This first week looks kind of weak because I'm like, I don't know what's coming out that I really want to watch. But let's check into the comments. We'll take some comments and stuff like that for like 5 more minutes, and then we'll head out.
Awesome.
This movie I know is horror, shame. I went too high up. I think it back, it felt like, oh yeah, okay, Joker stuff. I saw Joker, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the best. All they did was play with my emotions.
Mhm.
I thought the ending was stupid. That's what I didn't like. I didn't mind the musical aspect. I didn't like the music, but I didn't mind it. Okay. Thinking back, it felt like I was just being trolled with tracks for Joker. So good job, I guess.
Yeah. That's funny.
I didn't want that ending to upset me so much, but it did. I'm over it now, though. Just a movie.
Yep.
But you have a right to be upset with movies that way, man. Like it's
Mhm.
not just a movie. We're cinephiles. This is our lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if they would have taken the musical as packed out, it would taking the musical out of it would have been much better and more story driven. I agree.
Yeah.
5 times. She agreed with Collective Movie Man about the
Yeah.
musical. I definitely agree with you, Zach. The core aspect was good. Yeah, I think that was the best part of the movie.
hmm
Wow. I just went to Rotten Tomato and movie Heretic has a 93% on Rotten Tomato. I'm so excited for that movie.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I am excited for that movie, man. I've been hearing is good things. I haven't heard one bad thing about the film.
Mhm.
Obviously, once it comes out, people are like, it's not that good. But
Yeah.
so far, no bad.
56.
Venom
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Eminem thing. Was that back in this movie? Did they bring the song back?
No, thank God.
Huh.
I think that was from the second movie.
That was the second movie, yeah.
I'm glad
Eminem
you
with the
reminded me of that.
Venom,
I might
Venom.
end up using it in my review.
You should. You should. Wow, the movie here has a 50% on Rotten Tomato. I heard that it's a great concept, terrible execution.
Mm.
So yeah. CC said, "Is it great? Nope. Did I love it? Yes."
And that's all that matters.
The way this movie was set up, I feel like the main villain is too much for Venom to even handle, so it kind of felt pointless to me.
Agreed.
And Venom has villains you can use that are not too strong.
That's one of the biggest issues with the franchise is that Venom doesn't grow at all throughout the three movies.
No,
They remain he
no.
remains the same. They remain the same characters that they started with as where they ended.
It doesn't help. Each movie has a different writer and director.
Well, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, like there's no plan. They're just doing shit.
hmm
I get that approach. I appreciate that. People are drawn to the goofiness. Venom is hilarious to me, but the no connection Spider-Man is crazy. They teased something before, but did nothing with it. Wait, they did?
Yeah, because they did the tease at the end of No Way Home.
Oh, okay.
Where you have the
They were talking
symbiote.
about like there's like a Peter Parker in this movie. Is that true?
I didn't see one.
Oh, okay. I said skip because I haven't seen it. That's fair. I still definitely gonna go do a review for Conclave. Yeah, definitely go do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Kenny, overall, how would you say your month was?
Um,
Looking at this
Looking
list,
at
looking at
everything, I would say this month was solid. It wasn't
okay.
like the the best month for movies for me, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that I didn't see a lot of movies that I really wanted to see. That's because
Hmm.
I had some like mental trauma going on. So, like The Apprentice, I wanted to see the A24 movie with Sebastian Stan, another a different one.
Yeah, Different
Uh,
Man. Yeah, I wanted to
Different
see that too.
Man. I wanted to see that. Anora. I still want to see. Like, there's a ton of
Yeah.
movies that I'm really interested in that I think are going to be really good. So yeah, I'm still kind of like this. This was the first month in a long time where I did not feel like going to the movies, um,
Mm,
which is and it had nothing to do with the movies themselves, but I was just going through something. So I'm looking at this
yeah.
list of movies here. One, two, one, two, three, four. I went to the movies 4 times this month. Everything else I
Oh
saw
wow.
was on streaming. That is abnormal for me. I'm usually in the
Yeah.
movies a lot. I'm usually in the theater a lot more than that.
Twice a week.
Yeah, yeah, twice, sometimes 3 times a week. Mainly twice because like 3 times sounds crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And you know what's crazy is I miss some movies I wanted to see on streaming, like Woman of the Hour, the Anna Kendrick
Oh
film,
yeah,
which she
right.
directed. I haven't seen that yet. Don't Move, which is that just came out on Netflix this Friday. I wanted to see that. I
Yep.
haven't seen that yet.
T said on Threads that it was really good.
Which one? Don't Move.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So there's a couple of things I didn't get to see that. Saturday night, Different Man.
Hmm.
I also didn't get to see. Is there anything in the theater? Oh, yeah, Saturday night. I'm trying to think of anything you saw that I didn't see. That was Piece by Piece. I didn't get to check out.
Yeah.
Which I really wanted to see. Wolves. I didn't get to see. So there's like a couple things I didn't get to see as well, because just I've been busy, or I've been hurt, or I've been tired,
Hmm.
and just sometimes like my best chance to go see a movie is like right after I get off of work.
Yeah.
And sometimes a showing for a movie is like 6 o'clock at night, and I get off of work at 3, and I'm like, I'm going home.
Hmm.
I'm not like going home and then coming back out to go see this movie at 6, and
Yeah.
then it's gonna end at like 9. You know what I mean? And I have to get home at
Hmm.
10. It's just like it's like a big headache. So sometimes I'll try to go on Saturday, but then Saturday is hard too. So um I definitely want to go see movies twice a week in the theaters. But once again, my work schedule is going to be changing drastically in November, so it's going to be up and down. Things are going to stabilize once I move fully over to the new location I'm working at. But overall, because of how strong the last couple months have been, like the summer season was so strong, and
Hmm.
like the month before the summer season was really strong. So we had like 4 months maybe where it was like boom, 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 and we was having a good time. This is definitely one of the weaker months that
Yeah.
we've had. Um, like for a movie like Smile 2 to be an IMAX, that's kind of showing like, yeah, it's a little weak. That's a
I
great movie,
don't know,
but
man. I
probably
feel
shouldn't be
like
IMAX.
Smile 2 deserves it.
It definitely does
Well,
deserve
like
it.
we're saying deserves it, like in comparison to like what we've gotten from the past few months.
Yeah, normally would be up there.
Hmm.
But also I got some of my favorite films of the year and like in my top 20, 30 with Your Monster and Smile 2, Mads, Apprentice. Conclave is in the 40s, but it's still a great film.
Yeah.
History Daughters, like and the good films like Azrael and Daddy's Home that really like sparked my brain. So I saw some really good stuff, but I don't think I saw anything that blew me away.
Right.
Maybe Mads was the closest, but
Yeah, I would say Mads. Um, and something that wasn't even from this year with House also blew me away.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, just like how I was blowing the mama the whole time.
yeah.
Such a strange movie.
Hmm.
Oh, let's see what they say in here. If I end up going to see Jury Number Two, I'll definitely do a review for that because it's Clint Eastwood's last movie. Yeah, I don't think that movie's gonna do any good. Because of limited release. One last thing, I just want to wish you both a happy Halloween.
Oh, happy Halloween, dude.
Happy Halloween. I was gonna go dressed up as Static Shock at work for Halloween because we're doing superheroes, but unfortunately the costume is $70 without the boots, and I don't got $70 right now. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try to find a t-shirt.
Mm,
All I'm saying, if the substance isn't available to rent and buy by Halloween, I'm throwing it. It's available. I could tell. Hold on, I could tell you exactly right now. I have a guy. Hold on one second. This is how I know all my stuff when I be like telling ya. They literally are making it available like a day or two before Halloween, purposely. They're counting it down on Instagram.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be available this Tuesday, the substance to rent.
Nice.
Except throwing a fit. Not really though. I'm grown. Hey, John, what's up? I would say 2024 is the appetizer for 2025. All the best films are coming next year, and that may be a reason why some people are just not feeling the theaters lately. So it's understandable. That's interesting.
Yeah,
You think 2025 is set up to be like a banger from beginning to end year, though?
yeah.
Because January has a lot of interesting movies.
I would say, man, the lack of the big blockbuster superhero films has made this year feel a little empty,
Yeah,
event
yeah,
wise.
yeah. There's not a lot of event movies going on. So I definitely could see that. We had Deadpool, Wolverine, and then it was kind of quiet after that. There's certain movies that should have been events that weren't. Like I felt like Transformers One probably should have been an event.
Yeah,
I think
that's their fault. That first trailer was trash.
it was ass. Marketing really hurt that movie badly. I think the second trailer looked better,
It did.
but still, I think Long Legs was a little bit of an event,
Mm,
but it's a horror
mhm.
movie, so not everybody's gonna go see it.
Yeah,
Furiosa should have been way bigger than it actually was.
yeah, I agree with that.
Uh, um, what else should have been bigger? I think Civil War was too divisive to be an event, unfortunately.
Hmm.
More people should have went to go see The Wild Robot.
Oh my god, that movie's great.
Uh, I thought Trap would have been an event, but unfortunately, it didn't do that well at box office.
If M Night Shyamalan's name wasn't on it, it might have been bigger.
Yeah. Megalopolis should have been an event,
Oh,
but people didn't know what the hell they were getting into, so they didn't
pop
go.
Molly, I'm sweating.
Bad Boys Ride or Die should have been bigger too.
Same. I agree.
I feel like it sparked and even something like The Fall Guy. Beetlejuice felt like a little bit of an event.
It did.
But I think The Fall Guy should have gotten that treatment too.
Hmm.
Hey, Tennis Reaper Cinema. He said a tag team duo is back. How both of you are doing and how was your weekend? Kenny, how are you doing?
Today is the best I've felt in 2 months,
Mm.
mentally and physically. So, I was a very happy person when I woke up this morning, and I continue to be a happy person because Penguin is out, and I can't wait to watch it.
Oh yeah.
And the Eagles won, big. So
Well,
the day, and I got my Venom review recorded. So today's been a really good day.
productive, happy day. I'm happy to you know you're my homie. You the homie.
Yeah,
So anytime you're having a good day, that means I'm having a good day. But
appreciate that.
yeah, like I feel really good recently. Like I told you guys, I was having some health problems. I'm still having some, but some of them have been subdued.
That's good.
I've lost some weight. I'm on like a weight loss journey, and I'm looking in the mirror and I see it. I
I
can
need to get on
physically
that
see
journey
it.
with you.
Huh?
I need to get on that journey with you.
Yeah, I've been eating lesser portions. Haven't been eating as much junk. I was like going I was going to the corner store like twice a day, like during work and then after work.
Mm,
And like eating lunch and eating snacks and eating all this stuff. Now I've calmed that down. I've taken cheese, not cheese, but like taking out butter and cream cheese out of my diet. I'm eating cottage cheese, which is
okay.
healthier and it's actually tastes pretty good.
Mm,
And I'm not eating cereal all the time. I'm mixing it up and
mm,
like yeah, I'm trying. My doctor wants me to do like surgery and stuff, and I'm trying to avoid that. I don't want to do like fat removing surgery.
mm,
I don't think I'm that fat. So like I'm trying to do it like in a more natural way. So yeah, my health is getting better. I have to go. I'm starting physical therapy next week.
oh, awesome.
So that's gonna be great. Get to the bottom of the problem. I'm probably gonna have to go to the doctor and get like some scans and stuff like that to make sure it's nothing worse. But things are looking up health wise. I'm on the track of being out of debt by January 2025.
Hey,
I'm supposed to be moving next year. So that'd be great, and hopefully I have a better space to shoot and record, and that's not like in my living space.
Hmm.
And also, my sister's taking me out of the country and it's gonna be my first time outside of the United States for my birthday.
Hey, let's go. When is your
So,
birthday?
so, huh?
When's your birthday?
May 26th.
Okay, I need to put it on my calendar. I
I'm
think.
going to ask you yours too,
Mhm.
and I put it in my calendar too because one of my best friends, I mistakenly put his birthday today, and it was actually the 22nd. So he called me and he was, "Hey, we're talking and stuff." And then he said, "Oh, I realized you're just really busy, man. You didn't remember." I was like, "Don't you dare tell me it's your birthday today." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I have an alarm for this." And he's like, What do you mean?" And I went to go look and it said the 27th. Because I'm bad with birthdays. So I
Mhm.
make sure I put it in my calendar and it alarms me 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, things are looking up, man. Like YouTube, in terms of YouTube, things have subscriber growth has gone up, but watch hours have gone down. But I'm happy with my production, and I think that's where it's at. I'm not at an obsessive place where I'm checking the YouTube app all the time. I have to review every single movie that comes out in existence. I don't feel bad. And I'm gonna say this to everybody because a lot of people have been asking me, I want to do the Return of the King review, but the way it's been so much pressure on it and it's not good for my mental health, that's why it hasn't come out yet.
mhm,
Um, and I don't, and I'm relieving myself of that pressure because I've have so much more responsibilities at work than I had before.
yeah.
So that's a little bit of light update. I'll have a more extensive one, like video, uh, like in mid-November. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna be doing things, man. Review. I'm gonna be seeing Honora tomorrow, and I'll be doing a review for that. I'll probably
Nice.
release it Tuesday because I've been trying to release my reviews on the same time all the time. So like 11 o'clock every couple days, you should be seeing
Mhm.
a video from me. So you see it's 11 o'clock. Be on the lookout for a Zack Attack video.
Then,
And it's been working out. So
yeah.
yeah. Before we answer the last couple questions and head out, Kenny, tell the people what you got going on.
So in this particular week, I'm going to be releasing my Venom, The Last Dance review. I'm also working on a review for House, which we discussed earlier, for the Unseen Movie Marathon. I would love to get that out by Halloween because I broke one of my rules, which is you never promise anything. As a creative, never promise anything. And the first thing I say in my Logan's Run review that just came out last Thursday is that this next review will be out by Halloween. It took me 3 to 4 months, maybe more, to do the Logan's Run review. I'm trying to do the same type of review by next week, and that's ridiculous. So yeah, so hopefully that comes out. As far as uh doing other reviews, honestly, I think I'm slowing down. I just need to slow down for now. But I have a piece by piece review I might put out because it's still in the drafts. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Not when he says he's slowing down, he is putting more time and quality in each video. So
Yeah.
I do think that you were getting the best of Kenny Sparks lately. And I'm happy about that because the Logan's Run one, I think you guys should go check that out. It was really, really good, especially for a movie I've never seen before. It was entertaining. Um, for me, like I said, a Nora review is coming out. I'm going to start like officially working on my Return of the King review. I have a recap video I'm gonna watch because it's been a
Hmm.
while since I watched it.
Hmm.
It's about an hour, so I'm gonna watch it. Right, pause. Right, pause. Um, Right now, it looks like that video might be 30 minutes, but I don't know. We'll see if it's actually that long. I have a lot to say about this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. I don't really think I'm going to see anything this Friday. Maybe it's possible I'll see a movie Friday and review it, but right now I'm focused on Honora and Return of the King. I really want to get Return of the King out of the way so I can start doing other throwback
Hmm.
reviews because I did Beetlejuice review and I felt bad that I did it and then I didn't give you guys Return of the King. So
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna sit down and work on that on Tuesday. But let's answer these last couple questions and then head out.
Okay.
CC said, bet. I will say 2024 is the year of horror movies. Some are good and others are suspect. Horror movies have been fantastic.
Yeah. This
A lot
year
of
has
my
been great
best
for horror.
films. Yeah, a lot of my top 10 is horror films. Heroic Waffles, new subscriber here. What's up? Hey, man.
Hey, what's up,
Thanks for
Heroic Waffles?
subscribing. What I'm always curious, what video did you see that made you subscribe to the channel?
That's a great
I'm
question.
always curious about that. And also great name. I love that Heroic Waffles. And that
Yeah.
logo is amazing too.
So, Heroic, it seems like you have a YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel about?
Yeah, let us know. 2 questions. I remember you mentioned about health. How's that coming along so far? Yeah, I was saying it just now.
Hmm.
How's it coming along? Nice, man. I've been having trouble losing weight. Maybe I need to join that journey with you guys. Yeah, man. Definitely just keeping track and holding yourself accountable.
Yep.
And shortening portions of your food and eating healthier snacks.
Hmm.
I think that's the thing. Like, I noticed eating a banana in the morning is really like making me not have a big breakfast, and it holds it down for a long time, and I have more energy.
Hmm.
And just bringing fruits along and eating more vegetables and having more vegetables than rice and meat, is really, really good. So yeah. Is Kenny from Philly? He mentions the Eagles as his team. Yeah, he has a
I'm sorry.
76ers hoodie on.
Yep. Born and raised on the playground. That's where I spent most of my
Is
day.
it is it fat removal surgery? The F. Nah, you're not that big, fam. That's I
I never
appreciate
actually
that.
thought about it. So, yeah.
I think the camera is slimming because you guys only usually see up to right here, but down
Yep.
here is crazy.
There's a reason
Um,
why you guys only see shoulder up, basically.
don't worry about surgery. Doctors know what they're doing. I've had 2 open heart surgeries and 1 kidney.
Wow.
Man, that's intense. Glad that everything worked out. Glad to hear that your health is getting better. Thank you, Tennis Reaper. And also, Tennis Reaper, thank you for being such a supportive member of the community. I
Absolutely.
see you watching and commenting on every video, giving them detailed responses too. Because some
Mm,
people put great review and that's it, but you like talk about something I said in my review.
yeah.
Always asking us how we're doing. I really appreciate you.
Yep. Ditto.
Damn, surgery, shout out to you. You could do it, bro. Yeah, I'm avoiding that. I don't want to do surgery. Awesome. Where are you going outside? We're gonna do a cruise, so we're gonna be hitting a couple Caribbean
Nice.
islands. I'm hoping to go to Jamaica because that's my mother country and well, one half of my mother country, and I haven't been there yet. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. We were supposed to go to Comic Con next year, but it's too expensive. The best of Kenny Sparks and Zach attack matters. Gotta love it. Nice,
Appreciate that.
bro. Bro, other than your movie ego, you don't look big at all. Oh my god, I'm sure you'll get where you want to be, sir. Goodbye. Ozempic. Yeah, that was like a suggestion. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it was suggested to me as well.
If I don't have to, I won't do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, this was great. This was really, really fun. You'll catch us again next month when we rank all our November movies.
Hmm.
I will be having a community live stream either this week or next week because I said to myself every time I get another 100 subscribers, I will do a live stream. And I just got the 1,100. It might be because of Heroic Waffle. So thank him for my for my community live stream. So we'll be doing digital giveaways courtesy of Collective Movie Man. He gives me digital codes, so I'm gonna be giving that away. We're gonna be playing games. I'm gonna talk about some of the movies that I've watched this year, like my last 4 watched, and we'll just have some fun, man. And I might have some guests on. We'll see.
Nice.
But yeah, this was really great. You guys have a good night. Peace.
Yes.